It's live draft time, which means you, me, everybody watching gets to indulge in a little live mock drafty 2023, baby. And we start right now. Filing in. These are the free mock drafts. Hit that thumb up button. Get ready. We're doing live mock drafts. At the end, we'll drop a best ball. We'll drop a private Garrett Wilson jersey draft link for everybody battling it out for one of them Garrett Wilson autographed jerseys. So let's go. Let's get into it. The Fantasy Football Show Mock Draft Edition Graveyard Crew begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
We're doing 4, not 3, not 2, not 1, 4 live mock drafts. I also have like a couple huge announcements. We're gonna get to those later. Let me just show you something. I don't know if I should show you this yet. I'm tempted to wait on this. We're gonna be having an exclusive big boy league, and there's going to be 12 spots, and this is going to be the darling of the Fantasy Football Show drafts. This will be a club, if you will, a card holder membership, if you will. We're talking about 11 people and me being in the show league, the official show league, and being a card hold member of the Mars Men, which this right here, this aluminum card. Listen to this. This thing is an aluminum card that you keep here in your wallet. I'll have more information on this, but there will be 11 spots to be a part of the Mars Men exclusive group. This thing you can carry in your wallet. This thing you could gift to a buddy. You know, if you're on the climbing the Mount Everest and things aren't looking good, and you hand this to Bob and you say, "Bob, take my membership, Bob." There are 11 spots. I'm one of them. So 11 spots, 11 Mars Men. More on that. Let me just tell you how excited I am. I've got a stack of Mars Men cards here. We've got 11 spots. I'm just telling you, it's going to be unbelievable. I can't wait to discuss that. We also have another announcement that's rather big. Your boy Smitty's going to be in Vegas. I got more information on as to why and what's going on, but I'll be in Vegas on July 15. Okay, July 15. Yeah, this will be an exclusive club. You know, probably going to be something relating to like a super chat club type of level tier. But when you get in this, we're gonna have the official The Fantasy Football Show League, and I have some ideas for this that's going to be unbelievable. We might have a potentially a Moon Men card, but a Mars Men card is the top of the top. This is it. There's never going to be anything bigger than this. This is where civilization is going to head toward in all reality. Human beings will live on Mars. We'll colonize on Mars. I know you think I'm joking right now. Like, if you don't follow what Elon Musk is doing, we will be living on Mars. Mars will be where we end up when Earth does go away. This is serious. This is why we talk about Mars being the absolute top of the tops. This is our new home. This is our new home in all reality. And so this Mars Men card being in this club is going to be exclusive. Get ready. As far as Vegas is concerned, Ada, I'll be in Vegas. You are my connect in Vegas, right? I'm going to be in Vegas on July 15. So we need to figure out something that you can hook our community up with if you have those connects still. And we'll figure out some sort of like meet and greet. Like, I don't know. Ada, send me a message. I believe you're my connect in Vegas, right? So get ready for that. Let's get back to the drafting, baby. Let's get back to the drafting. We'll get into those new announcements, those big announcements real soon. I'm really excited about both of them. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be absolutely crazy. Both of these things that I'm talking about right now, Vegas. And the reason I'm there and what we're going to be doing is going to be phenomenal. Let's get into the mock draft, shall we? Link has been dropped. And this show is all about me drafting from the 1.12, trying to deploy the best strategy I could possibly deploy, trying to let all of you know what my avenue would be from the 1.12, and I'll do it repetitiously here through the 4 drafts that we're going to partake in so that you can see different approaches, and we are full. Time to roll. Ada says, Smitty, nah, I'm your LA connection. Who's my Vegas connect? I forgot. I'm sorry, Ada. I thought you were my Vegas connect. Who's my Vegas connect? I thought that was Ada. Okay, so on the clock is Nick. Nick, you're up. You're up, big boy. Okay, Bijan. I mean, I can't get mad at it. I can't get mad. I'm here preaching he's the number 1 overall player. I can't get mad at this. It's early. I can't get mad at it. You can't trade. I can't get mad at it. I'm not going to make you take a lap. I think you could actually have the highest scoring player in fantasy football. So how am I going to get mad at that? You're supposed to draft around it. I do like Chase at 1. I'm not taking Bijan at 1 because I get so many opportunities to take Bijan at 4, 5, 6, 7 that I have a lot of Bijan teams. But this is interesting. This is a conversation starter. This is our community. Welcome to our community, pal. Okay, but I want everybody to focus really hard not to reach in this draft. Try and hone in on your skills of trying to draft when you're given opportunity instead of going and trying to take opportunity into your own hands when that opportunity is too far downstream to take real advantage. At the end of the day, in hindsight, you're doing yourself a disservice trying to take a hold of destiny too early because you end up reaching and you don't have an extra pick by the end of it. It looks like someone ripped the number 3rd round pick from your Kung Fu grip. I'm on deck right here. And I've got to decide what avenue I'm going to go down. We've got Amon-Ra available. We've got the quarterbacks available. It's so hard to tell. This ADP is awful. We got CeeDee Lamb available. Who else is available? If I went Garrett Wilson, let's try and deploy a wide receiver from this draft slot. Let's try and deploy a Garrett Wilson and St. Brown wide receiver approach. Did I mention there's going to be an announcement about the exclusive Moon Men? This aluminum card. Listen to this. Where's metal? I need to bang metal on metal. Listen to this. Look at this. This card. Look at this card. This coming to a Moon Man near you. There will be 11. I will get one. I'm part of the Mars Men. There will be 11 handed out. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for how do you get into this exclusive club. Stay tuned for how do you get into this elite league that will be a focal point of the Fantasy Football Show. Every year, the league will be live streamed. Every year, we will make a big deal out of this one. It's like the Apple card. It is. The Marsman card. You're basically someone sees you with this out and about. They're gonna go, you got a Marsman card? There's only 11 of those. There's 12 of them. 76 of you in here. Only 18 thumbs up. Only 18 thumbs up.
Alert. Panic mode initiated.
$18 thumbs up. 80 of you in here. Can we do a little something about that, please? I really appreciate that. That helps the show. Let's get those thumbs up ramped up. I mean, look, if I could ask you a favor, if you like my show at all, if you like me at all, if you like somebody else in this show, maybe you don't like me, maybe you like the Bruce. By the way, we need to give prayers up for the Bruce. The Bruce he had a head surgery, and this guy needs prayer emojis right now dropped in the live chat. Do it for like 30 seconds straight for me, please. for the Bruce. Bruce to the moon.
To the moon.
Smitty,
You've just been
but if you guys could just remember this for me, when the 70 to 80 to 100 of you popping in and out, if you could just remember this for me. I don't want to, I almost don't, I hate asking. It sounds so dumb. Hey, can you like my video? Just please, every time you come in, hit the thumb up button, because what helps me helps you. Allow me to help you. Help me help you. Because the bigger we get, I promise you, the more giveaways we get, the better the shows are, the better everything gets. Just like it's been getting over the years as we've grown. Trust me. Do you trust me? Trust me. We will get bigger, stronger, faster if you guys just make it a habit of come in. 70 of you in here, 70 thumbs up. 80 of you in here, 78 thumbs up. You know, maybe Klondike's a little lazy once in a while. It's okay. Klondike, he hit that thumb up button. I know him. I'm just kidding, Klondike. Bella, check yourself. Thomas, Steven, Pal Derby, D-Class, Bolo. I got my boy Jose in the building. Jose, if you want to call in. Jose is probably in this chat currently because I don't see Silver and I don't see Alex Cruz. I think Jose is probably the eldest. And when I say eldest, I don't mean he's the oldest. I mean he's the eldest fan. He's the guy that's been here for the long haul. So I appreciate Jose. Jose's been in this chat, I believe. And forgive me if I'm wrong. But I believe he's the person that's been with me the longest. So to the moon, Jose, I appreciate you.
To the moon.
This guy on the phone right now feels like he's been here forever. I'm sure he gets out a lot. But he's really only been here, what, not even a year yet, Ron? Seems like you've been here about 15 years. Ron? I guess Ron didn't get added. Super Rudy. What's up? You're live. I thought Ron was dialing in. Maybe it was Super Rudy. Maybe I missaw it. I don't know.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
So I see you're doing a startup right now, and I've been doing a bunch of best ball drafts, and I am having a really, really, really hard time taking Waddle in the second
Thanks,
round.
PD.
I just want your input on why he should be taking in the second round.
He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be. I don't like him in the second round.
Yeah, every time I try to go for Waddle, he's just way too early for me.
I'm not saying that it's like a mistake where, God, the running backs are just completely annihilated at this point. I don't even know what to do here. I'm gonna go Fields. Hold on 1 second. Let me talk through this situation. I'll probably go Najee.
Okay.
I guess I need an RB. So from this 12 spot, anybody watching that's new, we have a tendency to snipe each other pretty hardcore in these drafts. I don't think we got a lot of bad snipage going on. Let me just take a look at it real quick. Number 1, Bijan. Number 2, Jamar Chase. Number 3, Justin Jefferson. Number 4, Christian McCaffrey. Number 5, Cooper Kupp. Taylor, Hill, Kelsey, Diggs, A.J. Brown, Eckler, Garrett Wilson. You could call my Garrett Wilson a reach to some people outside of our community, but he has a 12, 13, 14, 15 overall ADP. So I don't think those two picks are actually reaches at all. Lamb, Olave, and A.J. Brown. Barkley, Adams, Mahomes, Devontae Smith's a little early, but you can't say it's bad. I mean, I love him. Henry, Jalen Hurts, Waddle. You can't say this is a bad pick or early. Excuse me, I had to sneeze pretty bad. You can't say this is a bad pick, Waddle, but it's not a favorite of mine. It's not my favorite draft selection when I'm on the clock in the second round. It's not that I don't like Waddle, and the same thing goes for T. Higgins. It's not that I don't like T. Higgins, but these two guys, to me, because they're the second options, even though they're the second options on a very potent squad, I understand that. I'm not an idiot. But I can't make my second drafted player the second player in the pecking order at that player's position. on his team. I can't do it. I just can't do it. It doesn't mean that Waddle, if Hill got hurt, wouldn't be a top 6 wide receiver. But in my mind, I've decided, and you can decide whatever you want out there if you love Jalen Waddle, I've decided that Tyreek Hill's a top 5 to 7 wide receiver. And there is not room for Waddle to be inside that same top 7, top 8. Maybe he's 10. Maybe he's 9. Maybe he's 14. Maybe the fear we have of Waddle always being banged up even though he plays is going to catch up to him, and that concerns me. Maybe the combination of that, combination of being the number 2 on his team, the combination of having a quarterback that's going to probably get knocked out of a game in week 1, week 2, week 3, and even though we like Mike White, we still like Miami Mike, we still like that offense in Miami, it's still a lot of red flags and moving parts and concerns. So you can argue it if you want, I just don't like it. Breece Hall, not a reach. Higgins and Waddle aren't reaches, but I just don't love the picks. That's what I'm trying to say. Josh Allen at 3.1. Burrow 3.2 is a little early considering ADP has him going like 4 to 5 turn, but it's still understandable in the 3rd round. I've done it before if you can't trade. Chubb, ETN, Jacobs, McLaurin is way early. That's 2 reaches. I don't mind the 1 reach, bro. And just fantasy, I've seen you draft good teams before, so it's not like, don't take the offense to this. But D. Smith and McLaurin, you reached on both of those like almost a whole round. And then on top of that, Lamar Jackson, you could argue this, I guess, but all 3 of those in a row or 3 reaches in a row, at the end of the day, your team's going to look like someone took the 3rd rounder and threw it in the trash can. And they're like, oh, you got a 1st, a 2nd, you got a 4th, and a 5th. What happened to your 3rd? Did you trade it? And it's not a knock on your style or your character or who you are as a person or who you are as a normal drafter. Take it as constructive criticism. Don't reach 3 times in a row. If you're going to reach 1 time hardcore in a draft, you can absolutely recover from 1 big major reach. Easily. It's not even a big deal. But you do 3 of them in a row, it's going to put you behind the game. We'll see what you do here. Andrews, Herbert, London, Swift, Metcalf, Najee. These are all, and it went this way. The draft went the other way, but these are all par for the course. So there wasn't a lot of reaching going on. So from my 12 pick, going wide receiver, I think I did as good as I could have done. You know, there weren't a lot of players that fell like Walker normally falls to this 3-4 turn. I could easily got, maybe one better. Sometimes Jahmyr Gibbs falls there. Sometimes another player or 2 fall there. I would have taken Watson and Gibbs if they were there, and I would have loved the 3 wide receivers with Gibbs. So this number 12 spot's very, very fun because you can do a bunch of different strategies. This guy, JNH right here, grabbing the Watson London combo, you can typically get that from the 3-4 turn picks from that 12 overall draft slot. So if you go Garrett, let's say Bijan fell in your grandma league and you got him at 12, which is ridiculous. It's probably not going to happen. But if you win Bijan and you win a wide receiver like Garrett Wilson, you could literally go London and Watson in the 3rd and 4th round and be plenty happy with that. So I have Garrett Wilson, I have St. Brown, I have Fields, I have Najee Harris. The top ranked running backs on this ADP rank are different than on normal ranks, but at the same time, we are in Snipe City, and there are not a lot of great running back options left. Javonte and Kamara are the top 2. At wide receiver, Mike Evans is there. The wide receivers are thinning out pretty hardcore. Darren Waller's there. I'm going to go ahead and take Alvin Kamara to shore up my running back stable. I'm probably going to grab at wide receiver. Let's see. There's so many players that are just hiding in here that it's like you scroll down like 5 scrolls and you're like, oh, there he is. There's a guy I rank at the top of this entire wide receiver ranking list. Like Jahan Dotson, for example. I did a video on him today. He's going in like the round 7 territory. But you know what? I'm going to take him here because I think he's deserving of being a 6th drafted player. Could he go 6, 7? Could he typically fall in 7? Yeah, your grandma league, go get Dotson around 7. In a Shark league like this, I don't think there's anything wrong with reaching as your 6th drafted player. This wide receiver crew, Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra, Jahan Dotson, Fields, Najee, Kamara, I would be fine with. It's an approach I'm okay with, but I'll try a different one and I'll keep drafting from the 12 spot. Okay, Super Rudy, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to talk through the 12 overall pick because that's kind of the point of these mock drafts right now. I'm going to make it about where I'm drafting. I'm going to hammer home that draft slot and do different approaches. So go ahead.
No, I actually just got done. Well, I'm in the middle of one draft, but I just got done with another previously and made a trade for Dotson during that draft. Maybe you can evaluate this trade for me.
Yeah, and let me also just real quickly say, to your question about Waddle, I'm not going to, you said talk you into. I'm not going to talk you into drafting Waddle in the second round because I don't, Smitty, approve it. I don't hate him. He's not a bust, but I don't approve it.
You prefer Waddle over Higgins, though, right?
Not necessarily. I think they're neck and neck. But they belong in the third round. They belong. It doesn't mean they're bad players. It doesn't mean I hate them. It doesn't mean I'm avoiding them at all, but they belong in the third round. They belong, more importantly, worded. They belong as your third drafted player, not your second drafted player. It doesn't mean anything negative. Just if anybody's listening to this and they're upset because they own that player and they want to go crazy on me, think about what I'm saying. I like them. But I'm just telling you where I value them. Okay, so hit me with your trade, and then I'll go over these teams real quick, and we'll kickstart another draft right after I review the teams as quickly as you can. Rudy, what's your trade?
Okay.
Avi, I'm going to get to this in a second. Appreciate you, Avi. While you're looking up the trade, Avi says Etienne or Gibbs, Diggs or A.J. Brown. Give me, God, this is crazy because, you draft Etienne ahead of Gibbs, but I want Gibbs more. Don't tell anybody. Between you and I want Gibbs more. If I have to just choose here, and you're not telling me cost of entry, get more, I'm just going to say give me Gibbs over Etienne, and I love Etienne, and give me Diggs over A.J. Brown, and I love A.J. Brown. I love both of them. You could argue this one back and forth. I could argue this one back and forth, but give me Diggs, give me Gibbs, and I'm riding with both those guys. Those are potential top 5 monsters at their position. You heard me correctly. I did not stutter. I did not hesitate. You didn't hear me. I'm not scared. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed for myself. I don't. Do I look embarrassed? Do I look ashamed of myself that I like Gibbs over Etienne? The answer is no. This man Etienne is an absolute unicorn. And when we have a unicorn in the house, I want you all to drop a unicorn emoji for me and a Jahmyr Gibbs emoji because he is a unicorn. Super Rudy, hang tight while I play this brand new unicorn animation. This one goes out to Jahmyr Gibbs.
He is a unicorn.
One of a kind, absolutely amazing, unicorn Jahmyr Gibbs. We appreciate you. Hold on, we gotta redo that. These cameras get all jacked up sometimes. Let's try that. Let's roll that back. Jahmyr Gibbs, we appreciate you. And I'm wearing my Grindhouse apparel, by the way. Grindhouse, GRNDHAUS.
You are entering the Panic.
Sponsors of the Panic Chamber. Every single Panic Chamber episode Tuesday nights is always brought to you by Grindhouse. GRNDHAUS.com. Go get your Grindhouse apparel and find them on Instagram at GRNDHAUS Supply on Instagram. And the link's in the description of the video. Go get yourself some Grindhouse apparel. Super Rudy, you got your trade together?
I do, and you might, Smitty, disapprove this. I won't even lie.
Oh, no. What'd you do, bro?
What'd
you do? New mock draft after this
Are
question.
You ready?
Yeah, after this question, we're doing a new mock draft. I'm going to review these. We're doing another mock draft. We're doing 4 of them. We've already done 1. We're doing 3 more. So buckle up. Okay, go.
Okay, Jahan Dotson, the 401 and the 404, which turned out to be Zach Evans and Tucker Croft, for Jameson Williams, a 2024 second, and the 309.
So you get.
I kind of went all in with Dotson.
So you got Dotson?
Dotson, the 401 and the 402 I got, and I gave him Jameson Williams at 24 second and the 309.
I mean, you could argue either side of that. I'd rather have Dotson. But doesn't mean that.
I would too. That's why I did
it
it.
doesn't mean Jameson can't be as good. They're really kind of like, very similar. Like once Jameson's on the field, like you could sit there and go, okay, you got St. Brown and you got Jameson Williams. You got McLaurin and you've got Jahan Dotson. You've got a better offense and team in general in Detroit, but you got kind of this crafty potential, Sam Howell might be able to flip people's expectations upside down. And so at the end of the day, I'd ask myself two questions. One, is Jameson Williams 100%? And the answer is we don't know yet. We don't know if he's back to his old form because the guy played, 5-6 games last year, had one real decent play. And he can't practice until, I think, week 5 or something like that. And so Jameson's I think he could go to the facility week 3 or 4. I forget when he can actually enter the facility. He can't practice for 5-6 weeks into the season. And then don't they have a bye week in week 7? So, God, I mean, if I'm talking, obviously redraft is no question about it. It's Jahan Dotson all day long. Jameson Williams is not playing the first 7 weeks of the year because he's got on a bye week and he has 6 missed games. In Dynasty, because St. Brown, I believe, is still better than Jameson Williams, and I don't know, until I see it change, I won't believe it will change, whereas Jahan Dotson's already ranking above McLaurin for me, predictively. I know he hasn't passed him yet. I predict he will. Give me Dotson all day long. We'll drop an underdog link at the end of this mock draft series here. Okay, hang tight for me, Super Rudy, if you don't mind going on mute real quick. If you have another question, you can pop back in. I didn't review these teams. Hold on. Bijan Higgins. Let me go as quick as I can. Bijan Higgins, Allen, Cook, Hopkins, Waller. It's a really good squad. Chase, Hall, Burrow. Really like that trio. Pierce, Moore, Goddard. Pierce is a little early in round 4. Probably not your fault. What's just fantasy 98? Just for fantasy. Are these the same two guys? I mean, there's some reaching going on too, and I don't know if these might be brothers. Just for fantasy, just fantasy. This might be Uncle Steve, and this might be the nephew Frank. I don't know, but anyways, this is a good team. But Pierce is a little bit of a reach because he has a 6th round ADP. But you might not know that because the ADPs are jacked up over here. And you're probably just being suggested this. And you're like, I got to take him, right? So I don't blame you. And Kamara's got a 7 or 8 round ADP on underdog. But I'm taking him at 5. So I'm one to talk, right? You're getting a bind, So I don't hate it. I'm just letting you know. Jefferson, Waddle, Chubb, Ridley, Lawrence, Rashad White, solid. McCaffrey, Hurts, Etienne, Aaron Jones, Cooper, Evans. That's pretty crafty, Avi. I like that. Tommy's got Kupp, Henry, Jacobs, Samuel, Hawkinson. These are all really good teams. Taylor, Devontae Smith, McLaurin, Jackson, Kittle. Is that Jameson Williams or Javonte? That's Javonte. Yeah, I mean, look, your team's still got upside, bro. I don't want you to think I don't like your team. It's just you have 3 reaches in a row. I don't know if you've commented in the chat. Has anybody seen him? If he's commented, I'd love to know what he thought. You can call in too. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. And don't take offense to it. Tyreek Hill, Mahomes, Gibbs. A little early on Gibbs, but I like it, and you kind of got to go there. I mean, I don't know if that's even early anymore. He's like 3.12 to 4.5. He is in the 4th round sometimes, but Gibbs is going earlier and earlier. He will climb into round 2, so at the end of the day, this is not early. And I don't mind it at all. I've been doing it in best ball drafts. I'll take Gibbs at the mid to late 3rd if I think I won't get him. If I think I'll get him, I'll try and maximize value. You got to be smart in best ball drafts on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 on your first deposit. Links in the description of the video. I'll drop a Garrett Wilson jersey draft link at the end of this show. Let's see here. Pickens, okay. So it's a good team. Gibbs, Andrews, Mixon, Pickens. Not huge on Mixon, but that value is not crazy. Cheek has Kelsey, Adams, Pollard, Herbert, Keenan Allen, Judy, not bad. Diggs, Barkley, Watson, London, J.K. Prescott, I like that. A.J. Brown, Olave, Walker, Swift, Pitts, Aaron Rodgers. Probably the best team I've seen you draft out of all the drafts we've been doing. That's a great team, bro. A.J. Brown, Olave. This is what I'm trying to accomplish from this 12 spot. I think I did okay. I think I did it too. But, without you guys in here sniping left and right because you guys know what you're doing, this team, I would have been able to form an even better team than the team I have using some of these players. But because we're in Snipe City, we're going to see this happen. So A.J. Brown, Olave, Kenneth Walker, Swift, Pitts, Aaron Rodgers, then grab Charbonnet in round like 7 to 8 if we were to extend this draft. So great job. One of the top 4 teams, easy. And that's from Aloha, who has his own emoji on this channel, by the way. His own emoji on this channel. The highest super chatter of the year in a single live stream. And Aloha has that for 300, has his own emoji. Can I get the YouTube exclusive members, including Aloha himself, to drop a few of these bad boys so you guys get a sense of what happens when you're the highest super chatter of the year? Who's going to knock this man off and take his emoji? Who's going to steal Aloha's emoji? That is the question of the day. Nice team, bro. Top 4. Eckler, Lamb, Stevenson, Metcalf, Mike Williams, Sanders, solid. Garrett Wilson, I'm drafting from the 12 spot in every one of these drafts tonight because I want to prove different strategies, right? Do I like this one? No, I'll go this direction. Love that one. No, still don't like it. Let me go in this direction. Garrett Wilson, St. Brown, Fields, Najee, Kamara, Dotson. Let's run it back. I'm going to grab the 12 spot, continue to do it from the 12 spot, copy said link, drop said link, jump into the draft. Let's roll. Aloha, appreciate you, my guy. All right, let's see what some of these chat questions are saying. Do we have my late round QB sleeper for top 5 Watson? I don't mind that. And please don't feel like you have to draft a QB in these mocks because we do only go to 6 rounds. So if you don't want a QB in the top 6 rounds, don't draft one. Imagine it. Draft begins now. Go. Code plays takes Jamar Chase. 3 more drafts. Yeah, we'll do 3 more. We're gonna make a couple of them. We might make the last 2 or the last one 10-second draft. Don't see you in it, says Ada. All right, dial into the show if anybody has a question. Okay, so Jamar Chase going number 1, JJ going number 2, Bijan going number 3. Tyreek Hill going number 4. Tyreek Hill going number 4. Diggs going 5. Christian McCaffrey going 6. Who's this number 7 guy going? Am I crazy for not wanting Jerry Jeudy? No, I don't ever draft Jerry Jeudy. I mean, I don't hate him, but I'm disappointed in him. I don't trust him. Show, can you tell Underdog to come back to Michigan? I'm sure they're trying to get in every state as much as you can imagine, bro. That's not good for them. They want to be in every state they can be in. Believe me, there's nothing I'm going to be able to say that's going to convince them. Okay, let's try this approach. We're going to try the JT. So we've gone... I went wide receiver the first time. So let's go running back with one of these draft selections. And let me see if I could go... Is there anybody worth taking at this turn as an RB? I mean, I could take Breece Hall and force Breece Hall, but I'm not going to force anything at this moment in time. Let's roll with Lamb. I'm not a huge Lamb guy at this 12-13 turn, but I'm going to try this approach out. I know a lot of you still love Lamb. I love Lamb. I just don't love Dallas right now for Lamb as much as I did. And we could talk about that too. But this is a great start from the 12, so I'm okay with it. It's also a very different approach than that wide receiver approach that I deployed in the first draft where I took Garrett Wilson and St. Brown, because I'm almost obligated to aggressively try and get an RB with at least one of my 2 third and fourth round picks if I start off going wide receiver from 12 and 13 overall back to back. This allows me to go any direction I want to go. 12, 13, I go Taylor and Lamb. Now I'm flexible, and it's a lot easier to navigate later on. Adam, you're on the show live, pal. What can I do for you?
Hey, what up, Smitty? So I been doing some more research, and I was talking to you the other day about what I thought the top 5 running backs would be this year. And after doing like some more research and everything, and based on schedule and stuff people have done through the offseason, I got my top 5 now. I got Bijan number 1. I think Tony Pollard will be number 2. I think number 3 will be Stevenson. I think number 4 will be Taylor. And I think number 5 will be Gibbs.
Yeah, I think I hope Pollard is a top 5 RB. I really do. I think he's capable of it for sure. End of day,
if he stays healthy, he's so explosive. Like, I just don't see, and they want to run the ball, so it just makes a lot of sense.
I don't know why I wrote 3 B's there. I think at the end of the day, I'm not going to be shocked that this is kind of how I feel it's going to go. If based on some of what you were saying, Bijan 1, Gibbs in the 4 to 6. I think both of them are top 6 running backs. So that's kind of how I feel. That in between, definitely I think nothing's constant for me. I'm constantly flipping back and forth, and that's just the nature of, news rolling in. But like, could Pollard be there? Absolutely. Could Breece Hall be number 3? Number 2? Absolutely. Could Barkley be 2? Yes. Could Taylor be 1 or 2? I still think Taylor could be. Could Eckler have a top 1 to 3 running back season for 10 straight games and get hurt in week 12, week 11? I hope not. I'm not rooting for it, but I do feel like injuries awaiting him at some point this year, but I could be a year early. I think I'm oftentimes a year early. I admit that, but I'd rather be early than late, because especially from like a dynasty content creator perspective too, my mind is already out the. I've got 1 foot out the door when I'm fearing a player dropping off the probabilities when it's even remotely high at all. And Eckler's got a high probability of drop off. It doesn't mean he doesn't still have a decent probability of playing another 14 games, and maybe the missed games are in week 5 and 6 and it doesn't matter. So like I understand the probabilities, but I do believe the probability of Eckler playing a full season last year was very good. I believe this year it's not great, but it's still possible.
Yeah, anytime I take someone like Eckler, McCaffrey, or Henry, I'm pairing them with a younger back. So if I get Eckler, I'm gonna try to get Gibbs with him, or if I get like Henry, I'm gonna try to get Pollard with him.
All right,
I always try to pair.
Hang tight, real quick. Hang tight. So I'm on the clock here. 12:13. I went JT and Lamb. I'm most certainly gonna cue Burrow here, and then I'm gonna head back over to RBs. I took Najee last time. Walker's available. Wide receiver. I'm just gonna take Burrow so I don't time out. And then I'm going to head back over to these wide receivers. I'm looking, seeing if there's anybody that is supposed to be ranked a lot higher that isn't showing up. I don't see it. I could be wrong. This ADP is awful. It's between Walker and Najee. Because I took Najee last draft, Walker was not available. I'm going to go Walker here. And so, as you can see, my 2 different approaches. The first draft, this is mock draft number 2. And I'm drafting from the 12th spot tonight, period, to exploit it and to go over it and to see the pros and cons of different strategies. I went Garrett Wilson and CeeDee Lamb. And I had Najee, Fields. I ended up with a pretty good team. I got Kamara later. But this more balanced approach, when all things are even and best player available, guides you down a balanced approach. I was very comfortable at 3.12 and 4.1 back-to-back 3rd and 4th round picks. I could do whatever I want. I had a lot of options. I wasn't worried about, what if I don't do this? I literally took the best player available, Joe Burrow. I took, in my opinion, the best player available in Kenneth Walker, and I didn't have to worry about position of need at all. I got Lamb, I got JT. I feel really, really good about this 12 draft slot. Like these Taylor, Lamb, Burrow, and Walker are phenomenal. Top 4. Phenomenal.
Oh yeah, definitely solid. You got possible top 1 to 5 running back, 1 to 5 quarterback. If you get your boy
What's up,
with
Dolph?
your other running back, almost say anything, kind of trying to have them snipe you.
No. I won't take Charbonnet in these first 6 rounds. And if somebody does snipe him here, doesn't matter because in reality, he will fall. In reality, he will be available in the 7th round, or at the very least, if he was creeping up in a weird way later on, I would have him in 5.12 or 6.1. But for right now, because he's a 7th and 8th round, sometimes 9th round pick, I got him in the 9th round on one of the final live Poodle drafts that I did on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty. The Poodle drafts are done, by the way. They'll probably do another Poodle, but I imagine they're going to do a Puppy 2 and then go back to a Poodle 2, but I don't fully know. But Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, the link's in the description. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit, so get on over to Underdog. Also know that I'll be dropping a Garrett Wilson Underdog Fantasy slow draft link, and of the 30, 40, 50 drafts that we do, and you can get in every single one of them to increase your odds. You don't have to think, oh, there's 50 drafts, the odds of me winning aren't great. Not so fast there, because you can get in every single one of those drafts if you really wanted to. And it's not like you're just throwing $3 drafts down the drain. If you win, you're still going to win that prize pool that's collected in the entry fees for that specific league. This is not a big entry league with big prizes like the other Underdog leagues, but these private drafts, if it's $3 draft, first place gets $20, second place gets 10, 12, something like that, and then third place gets their $3 back. So if you play in all 50 of these drafts and you win 20 of them, you're going to win some money back, and on top of the Garrett Wilson jersey. So you can enter as many times as you want, but I'll drop a link to that Garrett Wilson draft. I think we're through about 18 or 19 of them so far. I'll drop that link at the end. Let me review these teams real quick. Adam, if you don't mind just hanging tight. Chase, Pollard, Stevenson, Jackson, Aaron Jones. Not bad. I like it. No wide receivers other than Chase yet. I can't talk because I've got one wide receiver too, but you are a little bit ahead of me and still don't have wide receivers. So it's a good team. I wonder where your wide receiver room will be, but I do like those RBs and the quarterback and the Chase pick. That's good. JJ, Mahomes, Jacobs. For some reason, I understand the value and what Jacobs did last year, but I just can't take him. I own 0 shares of Jacobs out of all the best ball drafts I've done. I don't think I've ever taken Josh Jacobs. I don't trust him. I don't think I've ever taken Devontae. I may have taken Devontae Adams in a mock draft, but I've not taken him in a best ball draft. I don't want any part of that Raiders situation. And Judy, I'm not super high on either. Let me get back to the teams after I draft. I've got one wide receiver. Let me queue up some people real quickly. Hold on one second, Adam. Let me get through this. What am I going to do here? I don't want to keep taking the same players over and over either, so I'm going to try and mix it up a little bit. So I'm not going to necessarily take Kamara. Kamara already went anyway, so that's good. So I don't have to force anything like that. Javante's there. Dalvin Cook, it's going to be interesting where he lands. He could be literally nothing. He could be in a timeshare, or he could be somebody that you want to grab. I've grabbed Mike Evans a lot. I'm going to go with George Pickens and Kyle Pitts. So this team would be pretty darn good. Pitts being my 6th round pick. Dotson and Pickens, I could have went Dotson and Pickens and had 3 great wide receivers, but I want to mix things up a little bit. So JT, Lamb, Burrow, Walker, Pickens, Kyle Pitts, phenomenal. I would say I don't always love my teams too. Sometimes I say I hate my team. I don't want, I'm not trying to just pat my team on the back every single time. That's a good team. That would be and I get Charbonnet later because he typically always falls into the 7 or to the 8 round range right now, 8 to 9. So if I got Charbonnet and I cuffed him to Walker, this team is absolute fire. Top 4 team in this draft, if you ask me. I know I'm biased. Herbert, Brian, your shirt will be mailed out soon. I'm getting that contact information over to Grindhouse. You will be the winner of this month's t-shirt giveaway. So I appreciate you waiting on that. I'm so behind on everything, bro. It's so funny. To me, it's been like 3 days since we talked about it the first time. That's how fast time goes in my mind. I know it's been a while for you, so I apologize. But Brian MC1, he's the first shirt giveaway recipient. So we appreciate Brian for all he does. He needs to be recognized. I forget what you even won it from, but you will be getting shirt number 1. Then we're giving away a shirt every single month, a Grindhouse shirt. Grindhouse, get on over to grindhouse.com, GRNDHAUS. The link is in the description of every video. Go check them out. Eckler, St. Brown, Devontae Smith, Najee, Sanders, Madison. Pretty good running backs. Najee in the 4th, Eckler in the 1st, St. Brown, Devontae, like it, Madison. That's pretty crafty. Adams, A.J. Brown, Gibbs, Metcalf, Kittle, Godwin, good. Barkley, Wilson, Andrews, Herbert, Kamara, Evans. Love that. That's very balanced. Kupp, Olave, Watson, Fields, Dobbins, Rachaad White. Just for fantasy? Just when you go and I think you can't do something any more stupid, you go out and totally redeem yourself. What a squad there, pal. What a squad there. That's how you bounce back. That's how you bounce back and do it live. Kupp, Olave, Watson. Start out with a very risky trio of wide receivers. What's going to happen to your RBs? I don't know. You know, JK's a risk, but Fields, those are 3 great wide receivers. I love the approach. And I think in a normal setting, bro, you still would have had Kamara fall to you, and you would have had JK and Kamara instead of Rachaad White. Not that there's anything wrong with Rachaad White, but I see the vision of what you did here, and I think you would have ended up with a lot better running back stable than you got. So I actually applaud it. 1.7, Kelsey, Waddle, ETN, Swift, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams is pretty good. McCaffrey, Henry, Hurts, Cooper, DJ Moore, Pittman, Diggs. That Hurts value is crazy. How'd that happen? That's great. You could swap Hurts and Henry and it'd be, feel the same. Like we'd be like, oh yeah, Henry in the 3rd round, I get it. Hurts in the 2nd round, I get it. Like you could swap them. Diggs, Chubb, Debo, McLaurin, T-Law, Goddard. I don't mind that. Nick says Hill. Nick says give me Tyreek Hill, Breece Hall, Drake London, Hawkinson, Pierce, Dotson, very solid. David, Bijan, Josh Allen, Higgins. That's where Higgins is good value in my opinion. Hopkins, I've taken Hopkins a lot in the 4th round when I get stuck. And I don't feel great about it, but I also don't hate it. You know, it's kind of like that, kind of torn between two feelings at the same time, like Sesame Street used to tell you when you were a kid. You know, it's nothing wrong with having 2 different feelings at the same time. And that's the way I feel about Hopkins. Mixon, I don't love, but I get the value. Ayuk, I'm not sold on Ayuk. I just don't know what his volume is going to look like at all. JJ, Mahomes, Jacobs, rock out your Hey, Adam, I don't know what's up with your... Oh, no, your phone line now allowed me to add somebody. I think Ron... Maybe Ron didn't try and call. Maybe that was Rock Out. It wouldn't let me add anybody. But Rock Out, you're live. Hang tight for me real quick. JJ, Mahomes, Jacobs, Ridley, Judy, Waller. Again, I like it. I just don't love Jacobs. Yeah, good teams, guys. Fantastic job. Mock draft number... Trace. We just did Duch. Now it's on to number 3. And I'm going to continue to grab this draft slot, and we're going to stay with redraft. And I'm going to drop the link right now. Let me copy it one more time. Link has been dropped in the live chat. Fill it up. Rock out. What can I do for you, pal?
Yeah, I saw you plotted the guy that drafted 3 straight receivers. Could you do that in reverse with running back?
Ugh. I don't think so. You could. You could definitely do it. I don't know how good it would look.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, this whole robust RB thing people throw around all the time. Like, that's... Why even show up to the draft? Why even do it? Why show up to the... if you're just gonna draft a position, why in the hell would you even play? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with people? What in the hell is wrong with people? Why even play fantasy football if you're just gonna draft a position? So I will say, is there a place and a time to draft 3 RBs? I suppose. You know, best player available could guide me down. Okay, we're full. I'm going to hit start. Luter's in the building. Luter, I don't appreciate you sitting right next to me trying to poach my players, Luter. But I welcome the challenge. I'll just poach it back right when I go back to back. I think best player available could take me down a running back. Let me give you an example, okay? I'm at the 12 pick. I'm drafting with Grandma. I'm drafting with Uncle Bud and Uncle Buck. Cousin Steven, who literally, his magazine's late from Amazon. He hasn't even got it yet, so he's scrambling. He's got a piece of paper. He's looking at me. You got an extra ranking cheat sheet I could borrow? And so you're sitting there, and Bijan falls to you at 12. Let's just say there's a fairy tale place, a little world, a lost city where these things can happen, and Bijan falls to 12. You take Bijan. You take Breece Hall a little early because you running back's going to fly off the board in this draft, even though Bijan fell to you. And then it comes back around and Gibbs is sitting there at the 3-4 turn. Like, could I draft Bijan, Gibbs, and Hall? Absolutely. So to answer your question, I'm going to backtrack a little bit on my answer. I'm going to say, yeah, you can. Is it easy to do? No, because you need to have like the perfect RBs fall for that to even make sense. But I would 100% take that trio. And then guess what? Maybe I have a Dotson and let's say I don't get a Watson or a London, right? Actually, no, I probably would. I probably would get a London still at that 4 pick. So my team would be Bijan, Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, and London. And then I'd get a Dotson later. It'd be a fantastic team. So yeah, the answer, yeah. But is it as easy? No, it's not.
No.
Let's see if I can do a running back. I did a wide receiver. I did a running back, wide receiver. Let's try going RB. I don't know that there are RBs that are worth doing it here. I could go Eckler and Chubb and Chubb and see what it looks like. I don't normally draft Eckler. I don't love drafting Eckler. But we could try it, or I could go.
Worth it.
Let's go. Let's try Eckler. I don't normally draft him. Let's try Eckler. Do I go Chubb? I'll let you guys decide for me. Chubb, Henry, or Breece Hall.
Henry.
Okay, you guys are deciding for me on my 2 RBs. Then I'm going to come around and draft wide receivers. So let's try it out. Yeah. Yep. J-Max says he got Bijan at 10 today. It happens, bro. It happens. People, every group of individuals on this planet Earth are different. The night owls are different than the lunch drafters, the business suit drafters. The white collar drafters versus the guys staying up till 4 a.m. and going to bed about 4 or 5 a.m. Everybody drafts different. I find myself drafting better teams at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning when I'm drafting against. I don't know who these people are, but they're letting this player fall, that player fall. Then sometimes I'll draft, like during a lunch rush time period, and I grab a really good team. It just depends. The chat was a little behind with the YouTube delay. I got a lot of Breece Hall votes, but I let Rock Out and Adam decide who my RBs were. I normally do not draft these 2 individuals, just for anybody like jumping in right now. Smitty, I thought you don't love Eckler. Smitty, I thought you don't like Henry. I don't. I let these 2 gentlemen grab my 2 RBs for me, and I'm going to swing back around and grab wide receivers and see what happens. And I might not force wide receiver. I might go quarterback, running back. I might go wide receiver. I might go, I've seen Mark Andrews fall. I could go Mark Andrews in a quarterback. I could go Mark Andrews in a wide receiver. I could go Mark Andrews in a running back. I don't know. We'll see what happens. The Ron Navy draft.
I would, based on the way the board fell to you, and since you wanted to take double running back, I would have personally and I know it's reaching for both players, but I would have took Gibbs and Pollard together because like I told you, I think they're both going to be top 5 backs. So why not get 2 top 5 backs with your 12 and come back and because there's always nice wide receivers.
You just can't. I'm not saying you can't do it. Like you could do it and recover maybe, but it's a little dangerous to play that game, especially 2 picks in a row. Gibbs and Pollard at 12 and 13, you're reaching hardcore on both of them, bro. Pollard just went at 2.12. Gibbs doesn't go until the mid third round when he goes early, or the early third round. So to take Pollard and Gibbs, you need to play an auction, bro. You need to play an auction. If that's your tendency and you can't get away from it, you need to play an auction. You shouldn't be. I'm not saying you shouldn't do these drafts and you shouldn't do underdog and all that, but I'm saying like if your main draft style should be auction, because if you can't control yourself enough, and I don't blame you, Adam, they're amazing running backs. I love having both of them, bro. But if you can't control yourself enough to explore or trade down or that's early, man. You're leaving a lot of value on the table, and sometimes you can't do anything about it though. But I'd rather just draft my share of Pollards and Gibbs where I can on best ball because I do enough drafts, and then take advantage of different avenues that open up to me at the 12 and 13 pick. But if you grab Pollard and Gibbs at 12 and 13, bro, you're setting yourself up for an addiction you're not going to be able to stop. And then when are you ever going to get Gibbs at a value? You're not. You're just going to keep reaching for him.
He is off the board.
You almost got to explore a little bit of, like, look at this. This guy right here could have got JJ, Pollard, and Gibbs as his 3, top picks. You would have had Pollard and Gibbs as your top 1 and 2 picks. So it's just, you can get Pollard and Gibbs at 12, 2.12 and 3.1 a lot. If you believe they're going to be that good, and I agree with you, you're going to smash when you get a JJ and Jamar Chase with that. You know what I mean? But trust your gut.
I'm just saying, like, if
I get you.
If it was between Eckler and Henry, or
I'm
high. I was just saying in general, like, I probably wouldn't go running back right.
Well,
there
that's
of what was available.
That's what's probably going to be my end result conclusion, is that I don't like. I'm trying out all the different approaches to show them. I don't like going Eckler and Henry, but I want to show people what these things look like, and I can't show people Pollard and Gibbs because I can't condone people drafting Pollard and Gibbs at 12 and 13 overall. So this is what I'm working with. Push comes to shove, I'm going Garrett Wilson and probably Olave. I'm going the 2 players that I believe are the best value at that place.
That was exactly the approach that I was thinking with the 2 players I would have.
That's at the end of the day, that's going to be probably my conclusion here, is that like the 12-13 to me, you're forcing RBs. JT was good. JT and one of those wide receivers, Garrett Wilson and JT, that's fine. I don't mind going that way. But let's see who's there at wide receiver now, and if I have to force a wide receiver
On the clock.
Yeah, Debo's not bad here. I don't love Debo, but he's certainly not bad here. I could definitely take him here without too much of a hesitation. London is available. Christian Watson's available. I'd probably just go both of those guys. Let's see what QB.
I was gonna say that's a back-to-back pick right there.
Yeah, let's go Watson and London. Phenomenal. And to your point, bro, would I ultimately love to see Pollard and Gibbs in this lineup more? I would, but I think I could trade out of these. If you can't trade, you can't trade. If you're playing in best ball, you can't trade. So like I at the end of the day, I wouldn't tell you to take a lap if you took the 2 RBs that you just thought were going to be in your top 5, and to hell with what other people say. I get it. I just can't condone that kind of like addiction, because you're never going to stop. If you start reaching for Gibbs every time you get a draft selection, what are you going to do, bro? You're going to get so addicted to taking him early, you'll never be patient with them. You'll get the number 7 pick in a best ball, or let's say the 9, or let's say you get the number 4 pick in a best ball. Very likely to get Gibbs. Look at code plays at the 1.4 pick. He got Gibbs, and this is in a reaching environment. If you start taking Gibbs and Pollard at 12 and 13, you're going to get so addicted to reaching that when you're on the clock in a 4 overall pick like this, you're going to take Gibbs in that second round pick. You're not going to have the discipline to allow Gibbs to fall into that third round pick and go at 3.4. You gotta try and deploy as much patience as you can. It's really hard when you get into that reaching, man. You start look at the way everyone in here is reaching. We're doing better tonight, but it becomes like this out of control.
It's so funny that you say about the 4 pick because that's my favorite place, and I got a lineup somewhere, and I don't know where it's at, but I got Bijan at 4, Pollard was my next pick, and then I got Gibbs. I'm like, I love it. Like, what a start.
Yeah. Well,
and then I want to say I came back and I got London, maybe on the way back. I think he dropped.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Pickens. I can't remember.
14 RBs went before last year's number 1. What do you want us to say, bro, about Jacobs' situation? I mean, you're a Niner fan, bro. That's, of course, you see Jimmy G over there in Las Vegas, and you think that Jacobs is going to be fine. He's not. Smitty is a closet Niner fan. You wish you had me on your side, Jonah. You wish. You got to get your team in order, bro. You got to get your team in order. You got one of the best offenses and defenses in the National Football League. You have no quarterback, bro. You got to get that in order. Let's go over to Morgan real quick. Morgan, you're live.
Hey, bro. How's it going?
Pretty good.
So I just drafted a dynasty auction team, and it's really interesting. I was wondering if you had the time to review it with me, and wonder if you can maybe give me some advice on trades.
How quick can you be?
Be quick, I guess.
Okay, read it off. Go.
Okay. So I'm going to start with my weak points, which are my quarterbacks. Derek Carr, Jordan Love. On my bench, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz, Cooper Rush, Kyle Trask. Then my running back, Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall. Wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, Amari Cooper, D-Hop. Tight end, Dallas Goedert. And then I have 3 flex, Drake London, Jahan Dotson, Zay Flowers. And I spent pretty much all my money on my starting lineup. I don't really have much depth at all.
Okay. It's a good squad. Let me come back to that 1 second. Let me just see if I'm on the clock here. Hold on. I'm getting closer to being oh no, I'm not. Good team. So this is a dynasty, you said?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's point passing touchdown. It's PPR, and it's 0.5 tight end premium.
Yeah, hold on. We got to do something. This is bothering me. Let's take Cooper out of here and put London here. Amari. It's just, I don't know. It's bothering my brain. Dotson here. I mean, put some respect on these guys' names, bro. Come on.
No, I mean, I do. I think London's
okay,
my,
here we
my
go.
number.
Now, bro, now it looks awesome. Like, just reordering it, on the screen here makes me feel like this team just got upgraded. This is a great trade you just made from your flex spots to your starting running back and wide receiver spots. It's a great team. Dotson, London, JJ, Bijan, Hall. I like Love a lot. Hopkins, Amari. Would I try and do something right here? I don't, with maybe a first rounder to upgrade Hopkins, and he's aging out, and you go get a Watson using a first rounder, and Hopkins using a first rounder, and Amari going with Goddard and a 25 first to get Kincaid, things like that. That's really the only thing. Or try and upgrade into a Fields using one of your quarterbacks and a couple first rounders, which I don't know that it's going to be easy to do, but those are the only moves to make, bro. Those would be the moves to make. I have no quarterback. Hang tight real quickly while I search for a QB here. Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to queue up. Probably the guy I would take here. I'm going to time out, so I'll probably just draft him now. We'll go Aaron Rodgers. A little early, but that's basically the 6th round. I like Mike Evans. I was going to time out here. I gotta act. Is Pickens is still there? Is Dotson still around? Yeah, he's still there. I still like Dotson here. I'll go Dotson. So my team is as follows: We got Eckler. We got Derrick Henry, who, again, you guys picked those 2 running backs for me. I wanted you guys to decide the RB, so you guys said Henry. You guys said Eckler. I wanted to start RB, and then I wanted to try and fill in the gaps at the other positions if best player available allowed me to do it, and it did. I didn't need to take another RB. It fell into my lap. So, the 12th spot's not bad for running back. And in a sniping environment where you guys are far more likely to snipe Watson and London before 3.12 and 4.1 than the regular population of people out there, if I can pull off a running back from the 12th spot in this community, I think I could pull this off anywhere. And my running back should be different than Eckler and Henry, but I wanted you guys to pick it for me. A lot of the chat wanted Hall, but I couldn't read that in enough time before I would have timed out. So I like that squad, assuming, those running backs stayed healthy, and I would go with different RBs myself. But I love it. Watson, London, Rodgers, Dotson, that would be a fantastic 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th round picks to add to this equation. Back to your trade real quick, bro, or your team. Yeah, exactly what I just said I would try and do. I'd try and get Watson. I'd try and get, I love London, Dotson, and JJ. I'm upgrading these guys. I'm upgrading Goddard. I'm upgrading a quarterback, and I just keep trying until I get it. Would I get Gibbs in here somehow? Absolutely. Couple first rounders and Amari, couple first rounders and Hopkins, couple first rounders and Flowers. If I could somehow get my hands on a Jahmyr Gibbs, I'd be to the moon.
Okay. I'm worried about depth a lot. Like, I have nobody behind these guys, so I don't know if I should just wait for one of them to go down or whatever, because I'm ending. But yeah, I just don't know if I should give up a first or what for depth in general.
I mean, exactly what I already mapped out I would do. I pretty much told you what I would try. I would try and get rid of any of these wide receivers to upgrade. I get depth, but bro, just develop and cultivate depth through add drops and just hitting the waiver wire. And every year there are guys that come out. Guys will drop Jordan Mason, and guys will drop Khalil Herbert, or maybe your league won't, but they'll drop somebody, and you could just stay on alert for those guys. But I'm not trading for depth. You need to trade and upgrade the lineup. And also with Dynasty, you've got so many young guys. If you wanted to get depth out of something, you could do some sort of like, you could, if you wanted to, trade JJ for Garrett Wilson and a player, but it couldn't just be depth. It'd have to be something massive. Yeah. And Garrett Wilson, in my opinion, is a top 5 wide receiver for the future. So I'm okay with it if you were to, let's say, get Gibbs out of that. Like, you get Garrett Wilson and Gibbs for JJ and some other player, like on your bench or whatever, or even if it was a couple second rounders and a player. And I'm not saying you would get that, but if you did, I would take it. I would take Gibbs and Garrett Wilson in a heartbeat. I would take Gibbs and Olave in a heartbeat for JJ. Like, those are the moves you could use using JJ, but you have to be very careful you don't give something away. All right, hang tight. Ron Navy, you're live on the show. What's up?
What's up, Smitty? Hey, on that team, you moved Hopkins and Dotson around, and even London.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd rather have Hopkins starting than either one of those two.
Okay. That's all right.
Simply because in a PPR league, he gets more targets than either one of those have gotten in the last couple of years. And plus, he hasn't had a full, in the last 2 years, he hasn't had a full season. So if he can get a full season this year.
Ron, number one, this is Dynasty. You always forget that. This is Dynasty. And
no, he said it was an auction list.
This is Dynasty, right?
It's Auction Dynasty, yeah.
Auction Dynasty.
But also, players are starting.
Is it full PPR?
It's full PPR, but every player there is starting. I have 3 flex.
Yeah, they're all starting. Ron, I was just reordering them because it's his Dynasty team. And I was just reordering to say, this team looks great. Like, this is a great Dynasty core. Like
Oh, okay.
Hopkins has like 1 or 2 years left.
I
But
thought the guys on the right weren't starting, but
even
I
if
think this year Hopkins is worth a start.
even if they weren't starting, I love Dotson that much. You can't even read Dotson. I wrote it all bad. I think Dotson's gonna.
Okay, I love Dotson too, but I don't think Dotson's as productive as Hopkins.
Well, he just got started. He had his rookie year last year.
I understand that, but if I'm playing for a win, I'm going to go with Hopkins over Dotson
Who's
because
throwing-
he's more productive.
Yeah, but you got
He gets the ball.
that Cardinals situation. He's not going to get the ball the same way as he's done in the past. He's getting older. He's got nobody throwing to him. The Cardinals are garbage right now. Maybe he gets traded, but
10 targets he's going to get 6 to 10 targets every day. Now you got Dotson, who started looking good last year, but now he's got a whole different quarterback. It's the same old story with Washington or with the Commanders, right? It's a new quarterback every year. We're just trotting them in, trotting them out.
I'm predicting big things for Howell. So we see it different, Ron. It's fine. It's okay. I think that
I know you're being predictive. I'm just saying that with the Commanders, that they're on a until they break it, they're just running through quarterbacks.
I think
And
Dotson's.
that's why I said McLaurin was hurt because of that. Same thing.
I think Dotson's.
DJ Moore was because of that.
I think Dotson's likelihood of getting more targets and having a more productive 1 year, 2023, is a lot higher than Hopkins. Hopkins has a horrible situation. We don't know where he's going to play. He's getting older. Dotson's on the rise, and Sam Howell already holds the franchise record for the longest air yards in a pass in franchise history, and he started one game. So Dotson to me is going to be force fed. I'd take. Push comes to shove, I would take Dotson and redraft over Hopkins, but because I can get Dotson so late, like this is reaching at 6.1 where I took him. I took him at 6.1, and that was it's kind of a reach. If I had to, I would buy Dotson over Hopkins, and in Dynasty, it's not even close. Like Dotson's miles ahead of Hopkins because Hopkins is older. But even from a redraft 1 year perspective, Dotson.
That's a idiotic comment.
You've
seen Howell in one game. And you're going to – no, 49er in the comment. He's just trying to push my buttons, but he put Howell greater than Pickett. You're full of crap. That's bottom line there. If you really believe that, you're smoking something on the edge there.
Dotson had 8 touchdowns last year, missed 5.
All right, hey, let's roll with another draft.
That's going to – Smitty, that's going to be my next bold prediction for this year when I make it. It's going to be Pickett takes Hurts leap this year.
Takes Hurts what?
What?
Takes a what?
Pickett
takes a shit this year?
Leap.
What did you say? Pickett takes a big what? It seriously sounded like you said that.
Pickett takes a Jalen Hurts leap this year.
Oh, I thought you said Jalen Hurts shit this year. I was like, well,
geez.
That's good. That's good. You know what's crazy?
I'm not biased. Travis, how am I biased? All you got to do is if you go back and watch.
How am I biased?
If you go back and watch Pickett's last game.
If
you go back and watch Pickett's last 5 games, he threw 1 interception. He won those games, and he looked phenomenal.
Ron, how am I biased?
You're not being objective. Don't tell me I'm being biased. You're not being objective because you didn't watch him play.
I love Ron Navy's Steeler love. It is. I'm jealous of it, to be honest. I'm flat out jealous of it. I don't have any of that in my blood. I don't have. I look at this from a different angle. I can't. But I think Howell's going to be just real quickly. Let me start the draft. Just real quickly. I'll just say this. I'll say that we're in a predictive game here. I think Howell's going to be remarkably impressive. I think there's definitely a world where Howell can beat out a lot of these quarterbacks that no one expects him to. I'm not saying we predict it. I'm not saying we expect it. But to eliminate the idea that Howell could be the next guy, I mean, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to eliminate that. I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't draft him ahead of a lot of other guys that we do expect most people to see, like similar to the Hopkins and Dotson. I'm still drafting Hopkins over Dotson, but because I can. But push comes to shove in redraft, I would draft Dotson over Hopkins 10 times out of 10. Dotson to the moon. I have a video on it. You guys know why I love Dotson so much. But Dotson's, it's going to be a big year. It's going to be a big year. It wouldn't surprise me if he ended up on the Moon Man list.
He has hell of a hand.
That's an 8 touchdown.
He had 7.
Oh,
Or did he run for 1?
All right, 7.
Yeah, Dotson's going to have 10 plus. McLaurin, I hate going against McLaurin or saying that he's going to beat out McLaurin because for a while we just been waiting on McLaurin, but
It's better value.
he's 27, 28. Not that he can't have 2, 3, 4. Could have 4 years left. I mean, you never know. But it's Dotson's team. It's just a matter of time. Watson and Dotson. That's why I did a video on both of them. Their numbers were pretty much identical. Their skill sets are a little different, but identical in a lot of ways in terms of their ability to make big plays, their target success rate and all that, the being thrusted into their offense. Howell maturing with Dotson. I'm not saying he's gonna not develop and that he hasn't developed a good rapport with McLaurin. He has, but Dotson's so fast, so reliable.
You do the last mock teams.
You what?
Adam and them in the chat are wanting you to review the last mock because I interrupted it.
Oh, that's all right. We'll move. We can't always stop or we'll run out of time. What am I doing here? I haven't gone quarterback. I haven't tried a quarterback early approach. I could do that. Let's go Lamb. I'll go Lamb. Lamb chops there. What other wide receivers are available? Maybe I'll go wide receiver again. Let's see what that does. I'll go Lamb and Olave this time. Olave's a little early, but let's just try it because I know we love Olave. Let's see what kind of team we can build with Olave.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know where we're at. Who else is on the line? Morgan, you got anything else?
No, I'm just in the draft this year. That's the 7th spot.
The 7th spot. Morgan from the 7th spot. Okay. Okay. Number 7, you got Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Ron, you never do any of these, huh? I never see Ron in the mocks. Ron doesn't.
I did last year.
He doesn't have time.
I did last year. But then I stopped.
Ron doesn't have time. If he's not winning cash money, he ain't stopping.
No, it's not.
I'm just kidding.
Because, people love them and all that, but they don't do me any good.
Dotson or T. Higgins. Brock, of course you're drafting T way, way ahead of him. But my answer to you will be give me the RB or quarterback where you're taking Higgins, and then I'll just take Dotson later to fill that exact same spot. And I've got a big grin ear to ear when I do it. I'm not feeling bad about it. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs instead of Higgins. Give me Breece Hall instead of Higgins. Give me Jalen Hurts instead of Higgins. And then I will take Dotson later to fill that spot. I will take Pickens later to fill that spot. I'll take guys like that and have a big, big smile on my face. Because it's not that I don't like Higgins, but he's always injured. He's always banged up. Even if he plays through a lot of it, he's always kind of a concern. There's always something going on. And if anybody thinks they can't walk out of 2023 completely disappointed in him, we had a feeling of like that during the season last year. There was a time where everyone's like, oh my God, I can't trust this guy right now. Like, don't act like that feeling's not there. T. Higgins to me, and I don't mind Waddle. G Money took Waddle, and who's this other drafter here? And DJ took Higgins. Trust your gut, guys. I'm wrong about so many things every year. I can't be right. I can't possibly be right on everything. So I'm going to miss so many things. It's just the nature of this business. Nobody's hitting everything. So if Higgins and Waddle are your boys, take them. But I can't draft them as my second drafted players when they're the number two options for their teams. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. Third drafted players, it's okay. I still don't find myself doing it early in the third round. But I just can't. I can't take number 2 wide receiver, even in a high octane offense like Joe Burrows. I can't take the number 2 wide receiver for the team as my number 2 overall, drafted player, or my second drafted
It's
player.
a little of a reach.
Waddle, Waddle will see. Like if Hill went down, Waddle to the moon. If Jamar Chase went down, he won't. Like knock on wood, please be healthy, Jamar. Then Higgins to the moon. But John says Higgins will set you up. Don't fall for it. It's not that he can't be valuable, but I don't love him as my number 1 wide receiver. Or in the case of DJ who drafted both. And I do not advise that at all, unless you're trying to mock draft for best ball, which you can't. I wouldn't do that. Just do it best ball draft. They're so cheap. But you don't want to take both wide receivers on the same team. This is not best ball. You don't stack Chase and Higgins together. That's awful. That's not a good approach at all in redraft. It's totally different. Totally different. Especially
John, at that 4 spot, that's exactly what I was telling you about, Smitty.
The 4 spot, Gibbs, yeah. Look at it, bro. Look at it. Pollard and
That
Gibbs.
lineup, I'm telling you, that start right there, if you can get it, especially in best ball, deadly.
But see what I'm saying about taking them there? It's just like, I know you want to, but look at that. Look at that. To get the Pollard and Gibbs, your 12 and 13 overall players with Bijan, it's a home run, bro. Especially if you get it with Chase or Bijan.
Mm-hmm.
It's by the way, we've got the tripod back and updated, baby. You guys ready for the tripod? Everybody ready? All right, everybody on the phone line, stay quiet for a second. The new and improved tripod.
The tripod, likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, consists of drafting either Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts with one of Hall, Gibbs or Bijan, and one of Olave, Watson, Wilson, or Chase.
It's magnificent. It's magnificent. Look at that. Look at that tripod, ladies and gentlemen. Just what an amazing.
It's just a big delay.
It's amazing. I'm going to time out here. I'm going to time out here, so I'll probably just take Debo. Let's see what I can do here with I need an RB.
Every night, every time you do a late night stream, Golf for Life is asking you if you do a one-on-one draft with Ron AB on Sleeper, and let the chat decide who's the best.
I don't know what to. Oh, I got timed out. I don't want Dalvin Cook. I'd rather put Nathan Peterman in there. I timed out on Dalvin. Son of a B.
Oh, no.
Son of a B. Okay. Yeah. Also, hey, the Four Horsemen's back. The Four Horsemen's back. You guys ready for the Four Horsemen? Here we go.
Yes, sir.
The Four Horsemen.
Not even on though.
Yeah. All right. Larry was on, I thought. Okay, guys, on the phone line, stay quiet real quickly. Here are the Four Horsemen.
The Four Horsemen. Drafting Chase in round 1. Hall in 2. Burrow in 3. London in 4. Try Gibbs in 3. Burrow in 4. Wilson in 2. No problem. Combinations of these monsters will give your league mates nightmares, especially Bijan 1, Olave 2, Burrow 3, and Gibbs 4. Don't lie. You just made an oopsie in your pants, didn't you? Ride for horses at the same time. The Four Horsemen.
That last combo of Four Horsemen was unbelievable. And I've gotten it in best ball, and it's just like I sleep like a baby at night. When you get Bijan, and then you get Olave, and then you get Burrow and Gibbs, or Gibbs Burrow, it's even more likely to go Gibbs Burrow than it is Burrow Gibbs at this point. Because Burrow's been falling to the 4-5 territory. I got Burrow in the 5th round twice in my final drafts before the what's it called? I wanted to say the doodle, the poodle, the poodle doodle, the poodle doodles. In my final little doodle draft, I think it was like at the turn pick or the 5.1. I got Burrow, and then I got him at the 5.3 in 2 of my final live poodle drafts. So that 4 horsemen, that final 4 horsemen of Bijan, Olave, and Burrow Gibbs or Gibbs Burrow will make people shart in their pants. I think that is such a phenomenal 4. And you won't get it forever. I had to redo the 4 horsemen, number 1, because Walker wasn't in the same ADP. Not that Walker still couldn't be a part of the 4 horsemen from the 4 or 5 draft slot, but he was in round 2, and I couldn't have that video. It just changed. Everything changed. But definitely, Jeremy was gifted a membership by Matthew Boyd. Looks like Matthew may have dropped some memberships here. Matthew, what did Matthew do?
10 of them.
Matthew dropping. What's Matthew been up to? Matthew, 10 gifted memberships. Matthew to the moon.
To the moon.
To the moon. And do I have any super chats lingering? What do you guys think of that final 4 horsemen combination? Rockout, appreciate your super chat. Got in late. We're doing another mock. We're doing it right now. This is the final one. Scotty Do says, can I get into the mock to save my life? You can't get into a mock to save your life. The spots go quick, but I mean, the same guys get in over and over, so I don't understand how some people never get in when I see the same guy in all 4 of them. But what do you guys think of the 4 horsemen? This specific one, I'll write it on the board. This specific 4 horsemen, which is Bijan, Olave, and we'll put Gibbs here because he's more Burrow's more likely to fall to 4. But it definitely, what do you guys think of that? Is that just like, is everyone on the line thinking this is a smash? Like we're dominating leagues if we're drafting this? I just don't know how you can't love this.
Yeah, I mess with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've got that. I'm pretty sure I got some of that in best ball.
It's
as
just
well.
a smash, man. It's the easy. It's like taking candy from a baby. It really is. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Scotty, do appreciate you, by the way. I'm sorry you didn't get into these. I'll review the teams on this one. I'm sorry I didn't review the other ones.
I can never get in. I can never get in any of them either. I think my phone internet is just too slow or something. Every time you post it, I click the link. I have to hit join draft, and every time I get there, they're all filled.
Pat Derby, Pal, I call him Pat. Pal Derby gifted 20 memberships earlier. Pal, I'm so sorry I missed it, bro. Pal, are you still in the chat? I just caught on to that. Pal, I'm sorry, bro. Pal Derby dropping 20 gifted memberships. Pal, please tell me if you're here. Someone tell me if Pal's here. I'm on the clock. I got a draft. Swift. Oh, man. Even timing. Oh, my God. Even timing out on Dalvin Cook. My team is straight fire. I know Ron Navy's not going to like it, but look at this squad. I mean, rock out. Do you think this squad is fire? Lamb, Olave, Debo, timed out on Dalvin Cook, Swift, Kamara. Ron's going to hate it. He's going to hate those two running. He's going to hate all 3 of the running backs. But I don't love the Cook pick. I wish I could have grabbed. God, I could.
Why would you take
Pretty
Swift?
good overall.
I mean, he's a 6th rounder.
I could have. I
tell people not to take Swift in the 5th.
I could have got. I don't even hear Ron anymore on it. I could have got London at 4.1. Imagine if I got London at 4.1. If I had Lamb, Olave, Debo, London, Swift, Kamara, that would be unstoppable. Oh man,
Swift, talking about unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Kamara's stopped just by the fact that he might go to jail.
The NFL's the gatekeeper of that decision. Always here, can't get in either, says Pal. Pal, I'm sorry, bro. Pal Derby, thank you for that gifted memberships. Yeah, I don't even hear Ron. I don't even hear Ron anymore on Swift. Swift in the 5th, 6th turn is phenomenal value. Kamara in the 7th is more what I love, but in this community, this would be unbelievable. Rock out, what do you think of this? Lamb, Olave, Debo, would have had London, Swift, Kamara, had I not timed out. Son of a B.
That would have been pretty fire.
Goodness gracious, man. And I didn't even know Watson.
I didn't get a Swift kick into last.
Maybe you need some wrong glasses so he can justify the Swift.
So if I didn't time out and I didn't see that Watson was still available either, my team would have looked like this. It had I not timed out on freaking. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I would have had.
Look.
This is crazy. This is a crazy 12 pick team right here. So I would have had Lamb. Olave.
London.
Lamb, Olave,
And Watson.
London, Watson, Swift,
Kamara.
and Kamara. Wow. And you could put Pacheco in there for Swift or Kamara if you don't like those guys. But wow. Like that's unbelievable in our community to pull off that team. That's unreal. Kamara, Swift, or Pacheco, if you will.
You didn't do it.
Pacheco, London. That's crazy that it would have fallen in line, though. That's insane. I can't believe that would happen in our community, though, with all the reaching going on. I think the ADP helps, though, because I didn't even see Watson was there. I didn't even see it. Pal Derby.
You could even went Garrett Wilson instead of Lamb. So you
Yeah,
could have even had
I didn't want to.
Wilson
Yeah, I was
instead
trying to
of
mix
Lamb,
it.
too.
I was trying to mix it up and not reach too much on Garrett Wilson because Lamb typically goes 12. So I was trying to use a lot of the players that are right at that 12-13. I didn't use Olave yet, so I reached for Olave once. But yeah, you could go Garrett Wilson, Olave. Man, that would be crazy. I'm gonna try it in one of the next poodle drafts or puppy drafts. I'm gonna try, and if I can get it, Garrett Wilson, Olave, Watson.
You can. I did it from the 12th spot today.
That's great.
You can definitely do
Yeah,
it.
I did it
Garrett
too.
Wilson,
That's great. Garrett Wilson, Olave, London, Watson. You got all 4? Because that's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's so good.
It's easy to do that. Just like with the whole quarterback thing, doing the 2 quarterback thing, but you just do like the 4 straight receivers.
I'm gonna make a video on this one. I think I don't know what I'm gonna call it. It'd be like the 4 amigos or something like that. What will we call this? Rock out. What do you got? Hit me with something. The 4 what?
You said what?
What are we calling this? The four wide receivers. The Garrett Wilson, the Olave, the London, the Watson. What are we calling this? The 4
Musketeers.
4 Musketeers.
Floor slashers. I don't know. Or
Scoring
Four
7
amigos.
years ago.
the 4 amigos.
Hit that thumb up button, everyone. 440 people in here. That's an unreal combination that you could get.
I call them the Air Force squad.
The 4. Smitty never gonna read this
I call them
message.
the Air Force squad. That's what I would call them.
Ada says, "I'm just fantasy, just for fantasy." Why do you say I'm never gonna read the message, Ada? I read the messages all the time.
Before Mr. List.
There are 1,000 messages so far tonight, though. I just want to let you know. 4 horsemen. We already got the 4 horsemen, kid. It can't be the 4 horsemen, but it'd be the 4. The 4 Stooges.
Intermission.
The quad.
The 4 top.
Something quad works. Travis is pretty good with words. I would say the quad squad. That's a pretty good one. I think quad squad would be good. Travis said quad receivers, but I think quad squad would be good. But
I like quad squad.
yeah, so let's go Garrett Wilson. So Wilson, Olave, London, Watson. This is the quad squad. I like
I
that.
still like the Air Force squad better.
Yeah, the Air Force One.
The quad squad. Look
Air
at
Force
that.
squad.
And then you just get this. I'm making a video on this tomorrow. I have to. This just looks so good. The way this fell. I'm going to try it in a couple.
Nah, that doesn't work. The seals wouldn't work.
This looks great. I'm just for fantasy like 15 times, says Ada. Well, I can't read everything, but I did see it. Let me review these teams and then we'll drop a Garrett Wilson draft. Let me get rid of the sound. The sound is annoying the hell out of me. Why doesn't it stop? What's it? Would they just run a ticking thing that has no relation to the clock at all? It's just let's have a repeating ticker sound and make it sound like it's. What is going on with Sleeper today? The whole year they've been updated their ADP. J.J. Hall, Burrow, Hopkins, Kittle, Rachaad White, very solid squad. Chase, Higgins, Andrews, McLaurin, Herbert, Dobbins. Again, I don't like stacking wide receivers in regular redraft. McCaffrey, Waddle, ETN, Judy, Hawkinson, Ayuk. Just so you know, I drafted the all Kansas City Chief team one time in an expert draft, and I missed out on a player or two, smaller time player, and I had to make a crazy bad trade in front of everybody, and I announced I was making a bad trade. I was like, I'm giving away this trade because I need to have every single Kansas City Chief player. And I drafted every single Kansas City Chief player just to try out. And this was like 2 years ago. This isn't a long time ago. This is not last year. I think it was the year prior. And the team did not win. It didn't even come close to being a top 6 team. It was like I missed the playoffs. It wasn't. I just wanted to prove, that arsenal altogether. And granted, when you draft a portion of it, a big portion of it, you're going to have other players that are involved that can kind of help carry you in that. I didn't have that in this team. But I did start every single Kansas City Chief player, and it did not work out well. The redraft's different. Like Higgins and Chase, you're not going to have them both going nuts at the same time. It just is a different. It's apples and oranges when you're talking about stacking. McCaffrey, Waddle, ETN, Judy, Hawkinson, Bijan, Pollard, Gibbs, Ridley, JSN, Godwin. I love the start. Imagine if you got at that 4.9 London or something. That's when I would have been ear to ear on that. It's a good team though. AJ Brown, Hurts, Walker, and I don't mind that stack. I don't mind stacking the quarterback and the wide receiver. I just don't like both wide receivers. AJ Brown, Hurts, Walker, Pitts, Charbonnet, Pickens. That's a really good squad. Charbonnet's way too early. See you soon. He's a 7th or 8th rounder though, so taking him in round 5 is imagine it in your head. Imagine it in your head. Don't take him that early. At least go 6.8 if you're going to do something crazy early. But that 5.5, and this is a mock. You don't have to worry about somebody sniping you in a mock. Just stay disciplined. Practice discipline so that when you're on the clock, you don't have this tendency to reach and an addiction to reach because you can envision this working out, just because somebody in a mock sniped them. Cut, but I like the team. Team's really good. You just would have had a nice player. You could have had a Dotson-type player right here instead of Charbonnet, and then still had Charbonnet. Cup, Adams, Chubb, Lawrence, Aaron Jones, Mike Williams, crafty team, Trey. And who's this? Who's this person right here in the 7th spot? I forgot already. Morgan?
That's me.
Yeah, Morgan.
Yep.
Just Fantasy is Ada, and he's in the 11th spot. So I'm listening, Ada. I remember. Okay, so Morgan's in this 1.7. He's got Tyreek Hill, Josh Allen, Derrick Henry. I don't mind the Derrick Henry value in round 3. It's fine. Watson, great value. Amari Cooper, Pittman. I like the team. I think it's a really crafty team. Definitely could be top 6 in this draft. Not saying it can't be higher. Just trying to group everybody together, either top 6 or not. Taylor, Eckler, Metcalf, Lamar, Keenan, Goddard. Definitely got potential for sure. Kelsey, Mahomes, Stevenson, London, DJ Moore, and Javonte. Very good team. Cuff Javonte to P. Ryan, and that's a solid, undervalued, very cheap running back stable you got with the beefed up Kelsey, Mahomes stack and London. Love it. Barkley, St. Brown, Najee, Jacobs is actually good value in the 4th round. I'd probably sell him after I drafted him there because that value is good, but that's just me if it was a real league. Evans is great value. Dotson. St. Brown, Evans, and Dotson are fantastic wide receivers. And to have Najee and Barkley and still have Jacobs, that's probably one of the most well-rounded teams here. And I would capitalize on that Jacobs value, but that's a great team, bro. I'm trying to think of what quarterback. Like if Burrow fell to you instead of Jacobs, imagine Burrow in this lineup on top of all that if you were to swap them out. Diggs, Wilson, Fields, Devontae Smith, Pierce, and Sanders really good. And then my squad, which I timed out on Cook, in retrospect, even though I wanted to try a CeeDee Lamb team to just try out different names because we had Garrett Wilson in the first draft. If I would have taken Garrett Wilson at that 12 pick, we went Garrett Wilson, Olave, instead of Debo. I mean, I don't mind Debo, but if we went Watson instead of Debo, we took London instead of Cook. London did go later. This would have been a crazy team. I love it. And if you don't like Swift or Kamara, sub them out for Pacheco and J.K. Dobbins or whoever you like in the 6th and late 5th round. Because there's still guys there. Damian Pierce type guys, Javonte. You could take Javonte and cuff him to P. Ryan. You could go J.K. Dobbins, who fell to the very end here. You could have gone Aaron Jones was taken, but those type of players. So just envision what works for you in terms of the RBs. But that quad squad wide receiver crew of Garrett Wilson, Olave, Watson, and London. If you can get those 4 guys in a best ball draft, that's phenomenal because the running back value is there, in my opinion, in the Swifts, the Camaras, the Charbonnets. I think I could get Swift, Kamara, Charbonnet in 5, 6, 7, and I'd be so happy with my running back stable. Or you get Pacheco in the mix for that, I'd be absolutely thrilled. Just thrilled. Scroll down, Smitty. Why? That's the end of it. But good teams, everybody. Appreciate you all drafting with me. And that's about it for tonight. Let's go to Morgan. Morgan, what are your final thoughts, bro?
I like the 4 Horsemen. I like the tripod. I think another name for the quad squad could be the 4 Loco, but that's just me.
Yeah, 4 Loco. 4. Anybody else has a name for it? 4. The 4 score thing, it starts off funny, but it's like, how does it work? How does it make sense?
The 4 henchmen.
The 4 henchmen. Hey, the 4 henchmen.
I like that. I actually like that.
Let's see here.
I like it too.
What's the official definition of a henchman? Before I go ahead and put that on a you know what I mean? Like, what's the historical significance of a henchman? Henchman meaning, let's find out. Henchman, a faithful follower or a political supporter, especially one prepared to engage in a crime or dishonest practice. I'm okay with that. That's fine as long as there wasn't some sort of crazy negative connotation I'm throwing out there on the henchman. Yeah, the four henchmen. What do you guys? Fantastic Four says Sick Nasty. He wants to go more toward the positive route. The Cuatro Compadres. That's pretty good. The great draft boys. The Burn Unit.
The 4 Compadres.
That's a pretty good one. The Burn Unit.
The Burn Unit.
They're just lighting everybody on fire. The Arson Squad. The Burn Unit's pretty good. The Burn Squad. The Burn Squad would be good.
The Bomb Squad. We dropping bombs.
Bomb Squad, maybe. Quad, turn and burn. Stop, drop, and roll. Turn and burn. I kind of like that. I kind of like the Burn Squad. You got a lot of little... Let's put it on here. Burn Squad. Stop, drop, and roll. Burn and roll. A lot of fire references. I kind of like the Burn Squad. The Burn Unit. The Burn Squad, the Burn Unit. What do you guys like, Burn Unit or Burn Squad better? The Burners?
Burn Squad. Burn Squad.
I kind of like it. All right, Morgan, appreciate you, pal.
No problem, bro.
Or
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Or the, I don't know, the big unit.
The big units. the big units. The 4 large units.
Like Randy Johnson, the pitcher.
I give you the 4 large units on screen. The 4 large burned units on screen.
That ain't pornographic.
The 4 units are on fire. The 4 on fire units. Get out your extinguisher. The Fab 4.
Dropping loads.
Well, hey, you know what? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? This guy right here knows what he's talking about. Who is this? Watch out for my boy. What a brain this guy has on him. What a massive noggin. What do these guys all have in common? You know, why do we keep forgetting this? The sophomores. The sophomore something. It's got to be sophomore. Something sophomores got to have been it. Second year, the sophomores. I mean, because they're all sophomores. So.
Yeah, you just call them the sophomore elite.
Yeah, the second year.
The second coming.
The second coming.
Call them the sophomore elite.
The sophomore elite squad. The sophomore.
The Fab 4.
The sophomore burn squad. The sophomore burn. Something sophomore. It's got to be second year burn squad. Second year burners or something like that. It has to be second years. That's a good point. They're all sophomores. We'll figure something out.
The 4 best friends in the world.
Yeah, 4 best friends anybody could have from the 12 spot. The 4 best friends that anybody could have from the 12 spot. If anybody doesn't know where that song comes from, shame on you. Shame on you. Ron, do you know where that?
I know, right?
Ron, do you know where that song comes from? The 3 best friends that anybody could have. The 3 best friends. No, I kind of feel like Ron wouldn't. Ron?
No. I don't know.
Somebody want to tell him?
It's Hangover.
Yeah.
The Quantum 4.
Have you ever seen The Hangover, Ron?
It's in that.
Bits and pieces of it.
Yeah. So basically, that guy, that his like the
Zach.
didn't Zach, what's his name? Zach Fernalis or whatever the heck his name is. He's hanging out with the cool guys, and like they're hanging out, and he just starts singing the song like, we're like 3 best friends that anybody could have, and he just starts singing the song. Sophomore sickos. I don't think, Ron, you're not a huge movie buff, right? That's why I said you probably wouldn't know. I don't think you're a massive movie buff.
No, I know a lot of movies.
The Fearsome.
Is it
I
a
know
Steeler?
a lot of movies. Why?
Are they all Steeler movies?
No, I'm just not. The Hangover was the kind of. I don't like.
They were Jet fans. I didn't
John,
watch.
He's an idiot. I think he thinks he's funny, but he's not.
Hey, maybe we call him the Wolfpack. Maybe we just morph this into the Wolfpack. This is the Wolfpack. That's it. We're done. We're done. It's official. I'm locking it in. The Wolfpack. They're the Wolfpack.
Yeah, I got you there.
Who said Wolfpack in the chat? Smoke the cat. I think Rock Out.
Oh God! Now we're going wrestling. Now we're gonna start calling NWO New World Order.
Wolfpack. That's it. The Wolfpack.
The Wolfpack.
It's done. It's done. It's locked in. I give you the Wolfpack. Whoa. I give you the Wolfpack.
Yeah, they were the Wolfpack.
Wilson, Olave,
That's for
London,
sure.
Watson. Boom. Draft the Wolfpack. You will win your league from the 12th spot. Do it live. Wolfpack it is. Zach Galifianakis. Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. All the other suggestions are done. They're toast. They're burnt. Burn unit. Send them to the burn unit because Wolfpack is it. Unless we add something to it, like the Wolfpack on fire, or something. I don't know. The Wolfpack from the 12.
Went from the 4 best friends, and then we got to the Wolfpack, which was the name of them.
The Wolfpack from the 12 spot. Let's roll. A pleasure naming the group Wolfpack, says Smokey the cat. Hey, Smokey. Appreciate you, Smokey. The Mars Wolfpack. Maybe that's what I'm saying. There could be something added. All right, Rock Out. Appreciate you, pal.
Yeah.
Later. Adam, last thoughts, Adam?
Yeah, I just have one question because I know you're high on. Well, you like Kamara because you draft
Thanks,
him a
Double A.
lot. But you also say that when running backs turn 28, which he turns 28 this year, and he's got legal issues, that's a lot of red flags, right?
Yeah, no, you're right in that there is similar concern for the age, and the getting out a year early because he could play 10 games, get hurt, and then just break down. But it comes down to ADP. So it's a great question. It's a great wonder. Like why are you high on this guy but you're not high on that guy? Because of cost of entry. If Eckler was going around 6-7, I'd be all over it times 10. Like you would see me like you got to understand, bro. You don't know how much of a negative presence I was around Kamara. Like, and even Swift, it got bad because he burned us so bad. Like I was not on Swift at all at the end of this year. I was so pissed off about how he burned us last year. I had him in my top 12, 13, 14, whatever, all year off, all off season. A lot of us did. Ron didn't. Ron hated him. Ron still hates him. But the value change is what got me and is getting me and keeping me excited. Like Swift in round 6 is different than Swift in round at 12, 13, 14 overall where he burned us. Alvin Kamara, if he was going in the second round, like second, third, fourth round, if Cook's in a similar spot. Cook's going early though. I don't know why. He's not going to even be on the team. We don't know where Cook's going to even be. And sometimes Cook goes in like the fourth round and people say things like, why is Cook still on the board? Like they come into our mock draft room and they stumble in midway through the draft and they're like, why is Cook still on the board in the fourth round? Like we don't even know where Cook's going to play. Kamara's going in on Underdog Fantasy. I got him in the 8th round in one of my most recent drafts that I just completed. He's always in the 7 to 9 range. And there's just no risk. There's zero risk for that. So yeah, if he does play 10 games and gets hurt, I don't care. I'm paying literally like.
Have you been trying to pair him with
Kendra?
Miller?
Yeah, Kendra Miller for sure. Like that's an important cuff. And
yeah,
Jamal,
I like Miller a lot. I get a lot of Miller. That's the only reason I ask.
Yeah.
I can get Miller way later
sure.
in the draft, and I feel like he has just as good as upside because I think he'll get the starting position.
And
pretty early.
You'll notice that Lamar's
because of Kamara is going to get suspended.
You'll notice that Jamal is also getting very, very discounted. Like he was going a lot higher earlier on in the year, and now you're seeing Jamal Williams fall to Kendra Miller territory. And so I did draft all 3 of them, which is hard to do, and it kind of puts you in a little bit of a positional bind later at wide receiver and backup tight end and backup quarterback, and you're like kind of like worried about your depth. But I drafted all 3 of them in one draft because I gone so heavy wide receiver, quarterback, and tight end. I was literally like, I need to piece together and I don't advise that normally, but if you don't have a running back situation that's very, very lock solid, second and third round type running backs, and you're piecing together Pacheco and McKinnon, you're grabbing Kamara, Kendra, and Jamal, and you have all of those rooms, you're pretty solid. Like you've done a good job doing, working with what you were given, and it's not something that's smart unless you're like, if you don't have good options, but you have every single Saints running back, I think you're going to be okay, at that one running back slot. Because I don't think there'll be this rotation that you can't predict. I think it will be majority one player at a time, and you'll be able to, and best ball, it's decided for you. So to get Jamal, Kendra, and Kamara in best ball, where you've gone really light at running back and you're like scraping together something, that's a pretty cool approach. And it costs you literally like 7, 9, and 12 round picks. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was just wondering because I know you're always talking about running backs at 28.
Yeah, it's a good question.
The reason I'm a very non-biased person. I've actually liked Kamara. I had a lot of him, not last year, but the year before. And I just know he didn't look as good last year. I don't know if he didn't look as good. I just didn't think they used him enough like they have in the past.
Bro, I watched
because
every
of
game.
That, and they're drafting a running back, and then on top of that, they drafted Miller, and then plus the suspension. Plus, I think they're going to pass the ball more to the wide, Olave more this year and Shaheed than they did last year.
Yeah, I'll say
so
this.
They have Carr now.
I'll say this too. I'll say that I think I watched every game. I'm not saying you didn't or other people didn't too, but I watch every game in a different way than other people do because I'm not just watching my players and my team. I'm like, I care about every single player because I got to talk about every single player, and I look at it just a little differently than most people. And I literally was wondering about Kamara, and I'm watching him. I didn't see a drop-off. I didn't. I saw a usage problem, and that usage problem is still present. It's still there. It's a risk factor. It's a red flag for sure. But how many other red flags are there? A couple others. There's the age potential drop-off. There's the usage red flag. There's the prison red flag. There's the suspension red flag, because prison and suspension are almost even two different red flags. So there are a lot of red flags. At 8th round value, I don't care. Like, it comes down to who am I looking at in the 8th round. Sometimes there might be somebody that I take over Kamara. I've definitely run into that place where I'm like, holy crap. Like a Pickens type player is still there, or Kincaid, and I need a tight end. I can't get Kamara this time, and I will avoid him. Like, I will not force Kamara on every team. But I'm getting close to drafting him on about, I would say, he's got to be in my top 3 or 4 exposure over all of the drafts. I know there's not, Ron, there's not a total exposure. There's only exposure per segment, right?
For segment, no, they lump them all together. Unless it's a super flex, they do it separate. But like your Poodle, your BB4, your big boy, they lump all those together for your exposures.
Yeah, so I'd have to say I'm going to pull up I'm not going to pull that up now because I want to get into this. I want to get a link out there. Slow draft, 12-person, $3 Garrett Wilson draft. Hold on. Let me copy this. I'm going to drop it in, and then I'm going to plug in real quickly just for the first few picks or whatever. This is for a Garrett Wilson autographed jersey draft. Get into it. Do it live. Let's roll. Here's the link right now. Dropping it. Entry fee's $3. I think first place gets like $20. It's not about the money. Underdog handles that. I have no control over that. If we do a $3 private draft that I create through their system, it's going to be a $20 first place, $12 or $13 second, and money back third place. It's more about the autographed jersey, which you can do as many drafts as you want. You can still win that first place prize, the $20, every single draft that you do, if you do well. So you can still make money and win the Garrett Wilson draft. It's not like you're doing, so I'm going to do 10 drafts to win the Garrett Wilson jersey. Well, yeah, if you don't win, but try and win the drafts too. That link is up. Let me go ahead and put it up real quick. Hold on. Two more spots remaining. It's so funny. Like, before I even plug in, it's like already full. Let me see if I can get it up on screen here. Watch out for my boy, sophomore slump busters. We'll keep that in mind. Okay, draft starts in 55 seconds. Hunter's in the 1, Boosted's in the 2, BK is in the 1.3, King Johnny in the 1.4, Travis Rowe in the 1.5. The Mexicans in the 1.6. Detest is in the 1.7. G-rated in the 1.8. Terry Roberts, the 1.9. Morgan's in that 1.10. I'm in the 11, and Ada is in the 12. So I'll let this go like a round, and then I'll jump off. Adam, any final thoughts? Final thoughts.
No, I was just asking. I just wanted to know about that just because I listened to everything you say and why you don't like certain players. So I just felt like there's so many red flags around him in particular. So, and I know you drop a lot of them. And I understand the upside as a player. I just worry about the rest of it.
Yeah, let's look at it's
not even just the red flag. I'm really actually worried about the usage from what I've seen last year. Like I said, I take biasness out. Like, I'm a Colts fan and a Lions fan, but I still keep stuff, in perspective when I come to drafting.
Yeah, let's look
like,
at.
There's certain players I want. I'm not going to sit there and draft. Like, I'm not big on freaking Pittman, Michael Pittman.
Yeah, let's look at ADP real quick.
I wasn't big on him last year either.
First of all, I love that Walker's falling below Gibbs, Harris, Etienne, Ramondre, Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs, all that. I love that Breece Hall is below Jacobs. I love that Breece Hall is that low. Let's look down at what are we looking at? Kamara. So Kamara is at 99 overall. 99 overall. That's crazy. Where is this draft? Uh-oh.
Man, I saw Charbonnet right next to Kamara. That's probably why I never kicked Kamara, because even if I was going to take some shots on him, because I'm gonna take Charbonnet over Kamara every time.
Is this the one? This is the draft. Okay, so let's look at what I say at 99 overall. 99 overall puts him right at the 9th round, 3rd pick. That's crazy. That's crazy. And if we go back, let me name this one. This is the Garrett Wilson. I think this is like 20. I'm just going to put 20 next to it. Okay, let me go back. If we go back to the ADP rankings and we look at the running backs one more time, and let's just take a look, a gander at who's around him. So we have Kamara. So obviously Charbonnet. If you have Walker, I'm drafting Charbonnet over Kamara if I'm around 99 overall, so in the 9th round. If I'm in the late 8th round and I've got Walker, I'll reach in the late 8 round territory to get Charbonnet. So that is a player I would 100% draft over Alvin Kamara. James Cook above Kamara, I'd rather have Kamara. I'd rather take a gamble somewhere else than rely upon James Cook. A.J. Dillon, I'm not super excited about him. I can understand why somebody might be, and I'm not like against it. A-Chain, I could understand why he could be, in hindsight, one of the steals of the entire running back ADP right here that we're looking at. So I don't mind that. P. Ryan, I could understand it.
That's another one I've been taking.
P. Ryan, you got Javonte. I can understand that over Kamara. Like, all those make sense, but none of these right here are situations where you're like, what in the hell are you thinking taking Kamara? If he climbed to, let's say this like Pierce territory, 62, 70 overall, which is where he probably should be if, let's say, a suspension is no longer on the table, he would climb to the 60s, he would climb to 50. Then that would be like where even I'm starting to say the age worries me, because he's older. The usage last year worries me. This is where I was on Kamara. When I described my line in the sand approach, this is how at some point, I don't want to erase that because I'm going to be doing something on that. At some point, that line in the sand, a player flips from avoid, and then the line in the sand to a go get. And if you follow my Kamara talk, he's going to get suspended. Look at what the NFL's got to do something. The NFL didn't. No one cares. The NFL's not going to do anything. Maybe they suspend him 2 to 4 games, 2 to 6 games. It obviously will depend on the plea or the outcome of the trial. I've heard some things that, he's going to take it the distance, and if that goes badly for him and he gets convicted guilty of battery to the extreme charge on top of the conspiracy charge, then by default he could potentially go to prison. But I don't think it'll get to that. I don't think it'll get to that. I think that the way these things usually play out with players and high-profile players, he will plea out. He won't settle. You can't settle in criminal. We've had attorneys come on and explain this in tremendous detail because people say things like, oh, he'll settle. Those people don't know what they're talking about. You can't settle in a criminal trial. It's a plea. And most pleas, except for certain versions, very, very rare versions, most pleas are some sort of admission of guilt. And sometimes those pleas require that in there because if you think about it from the victim and the DA's perspective, They want a moral victory out of this situation if they're going to like lay down and give the person a way out, because a plea is essentially doing that. Kamara doesn't deserve a plea, if you want my honest opinion. And I don't think he should ever play again. Coming from a guy that's drafting him like crazy, I don't think he should ever play again. I think he ruined that right when he went out there representing the NFL in a hotel during a Pro Bowl weekend while he was still kind of technically wearing his uniform, so to speak, of the NFL. Goes out there and beats a man senseless, regardless of what the man said to him, regardless of how the man egged him on. I don't care about any of that. It gives him no right to do what he did, not to mention the awful footage of Kamara admitting and bragging about it in a vehicle, in an Uber, as they drive away from the situation, clearly showing no remorse whatsoever. But the thing about it is with the plea, these people want to have, these victims want to have some sort of like acknowledgement that they did wrong. So I don't know that he's going to be offered one of the pleas that consist of like no actual guilty plea. It's more of like a no. It's not a no contest, but something, or a no. I forget the exact name of what it was. It was a very, very like, it was like a Latin term that Tony broke down. Contemporary something, whatever. No contest, contemporary, whatever it was. And that would be where he's not admitting guilt, but he is pleading out. And then there's going to be not a settlement. It'll be medical expenses like up the wazoo going to this guy. And then there'll be a civil trial, which he can settle. Civil trial, 90+% of all civil trials settle. So that guy will get a payday from Kamara for beating him into the ground. Kamara will definitely be paying out on that. And that case probably could affect him. Maybe it won't affect him. Who knows? We don't know what the civil trial will do. By the time that comes around, because he'll delay the hell out of that, he won't be relevant in the NFL anyway. But anyways, in a nutshell, my whole thing is that if he climbs, the risk is through the roof. Where he's at down here at 99 overall, unless you need Charbonnet, unless you want to draft A-Chain and go with the upside, I mean, you're talking about Penny. You're talking about Brian Robinson. You're talking about A.J. Dillon. You're talking about Damian Harris. You can make a case for any of those guys. Antonio Gibson, Jamal Williams, Elijah Mitchell, Jerick McKinnon, even Kendre Miller. Roschon Johnson is one of the biggest steals in this entire list that I've showed you so far. I wouldn't care if you went Roschon Johnson. I love that boldness of that. At 140 though, you can get both of them. You can get Kamara at 99 to 100. You can come back and still get Roschon, so it doesn't really excuse not taking Kamara in my mind. Roschon at 140 is crazy.
And you can get Miller as well. So
Roschon at 140, guys, that's a league winner. That's a league winner right there. Roschon Johnson at 140 is a league winner. We need to do a video on that. That's crazy. 140? That's insane. That is win a league material right there. Zero risk. Zero risk right there, Roschon. All right, I appreciate you, Adam.
Yeah,
I'll see you tomorrow, pal.
I like him. He's solid. He looked really good when he played for Texas.
Yeah, I'll see you, pal. Call in tomorrow.
Have a good one.
Later.
Will do.
Hey, Ron, we'll have a Zoom call tomorrow, by the way. I know we didn't do it on Mother's Day, but we'll be doing a Zoom call. Any final thoughts?
I get what you're saying about value, but I only get it value with players that make sense. Look at Kamara's year last year. He did. I mean, let's just look at the guy for take away the legal stuff and all that. Let's look at his play. Let's look 2 touchdowns, right? 800 and some yards, 2 touchdowns.
Hunter.
I mean, he's dropped off significantly.
Hunter,
and there's so
you got to
many
pick
players in the 8th and 9th round that have better production he's had.
I'll take it all day.
That I'm gonna.
I'll take it all day.
Even like Swift in the 6th, I'm taking Pickens. I'm taking all those other guys that have actually proven something.
I know you will.
In that round, then Swift. Swift hasn't done anything, so I don't get this value thing. if why draft somebody? Okay, if they were like in the first or second round before, and now they're in the 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th round, why? Okay, I see you're saying value, but if they're still going to produce crap, why would I not?
But Ron, that's why we
that's
play. That's why we play, Ron. That's why we play, though. Like they're not producing crap.
I'm just saying how I think about it.
Yeah.
I don't think about it like the same way as you do. My thoughts a little. I can't wrap my head around. Well, I'm just gonna. It's great value. I'm just gonna draft this player. If I think they're crap, then I'm not drafting them. I don't care where they're at as far as value goes. For me, I know you have a different stance on it. I'm just saying how my mind's thinking.
Well, the thing you're gonna,
and
yeah, you're gonna see a video. You're gonna see a video on Swift here soon. You're probably not gonna watch it. You'll thumb it up. You said you'll thumb it up, but you won't watch it. That's fine. Ron, I appreciate you for who you are. You don't have to change for nobody. You wouldn't change for nobody anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you be you. We love you just the way you are. But there will be a Swift video. Maybe you'll watch it out of curiosity. I don't know. I appreciate your thumb up on it anyway. But this Swift video is gonna make you uncomfortable. But let me just say this about Swift. I know that a lot of people have negative things to say about Swift, and I can understand where they're coming from. But since 2020, this guy's in the top 5 in the NFL in yards receiving per game. There's so many weird stats about Swift that people don't get, and you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it, Ron. You think this guy's a failure? He's not. I mean, statistically, there are still a lot of stats that would blow your mind, and I'll have this video out in the next couple of days, if not 24 hours or 48 hours. But Swift He's in the top 5 since 2020.
That's like Deontay Johnson. Okay, he gets you a lot of receptions. He drops the ball a lot, but did he score any touchdowns last year? No. What good is that? What good is a player that can't get you any touchdowns for the whole year, especially being the number 1 receiver? I'm just as down on him as I am Swift. You either produce or you don't produce. And if you don't produce, you're not doing any good on my team. I'll find a different player that will produce.
We know.
In the same area
Ron,
where you're going.
We need anti-Swift people, so I appreciate you. You don't know how much you mean to me in this conversation. I actually love it, and just like when you love Pickett, and people are anti-Pickett, you're getting Pickett all day long as your second QB, and you're cleaning up. When people are anti-Najee or anti-Pickens, it's great. It's great. You love it. You love it. I love it. I appreciate you, and I know we're not going to.
Especially anti-Cousins. I mean, all those anti-Cousin people out there. I mean, do they realize what this guy has actually done in the league? I mean, not very many quarterbacks can say that they've had 7 over 4,000 yard years.
Yeah.
And consecutive pretty much. 2015, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, and 22. Cousins has thrown for over 4,000 yards. And he has a quarterback rating of over 98.8. And he has a lifetime passing over 30,000 yards.
I'm not gonna reveal exactly what this means right now in full, but we talked about a little bit already. But get ready for the Mars Men. This is an aluminum. I want to scratch it up. This is an aluminum card.
Yeah.
12 of these are being made. A very special club, a very special league that's going to be live streamed every year on this show and be the league of this show. This club is coming soon. Very exclusive. This card is simple. This card goes in your wallet. The Fantasy Football Show on the back with the YouTube logo. Mars Men on the front. There will be 12 individuals in this. There may be Moon Men, and that's it. We're not doing like tons of it. It's probably going to be 12 Mars Men, potentially 12 Moon Men. Maybe not. Maybe I just want to keep it these 12 and make this special. But the Mars Men will be above the Moon Men. This is the top notch. There'll never be a card I make higher than this. This will be the top notch. Get ready for it. Matt's dropping
a $50 hauler.
Yeah, Matt wants to drop a prediction. My prediction for the 2023 NFL season is that I'm going to win the $3 million underdog fantasy football. Like, let me just put this out there right now. If you win that anyway, it doesn't matter what any other prediction on this board is. Just because you won it, just because you're in our community, it would be the boldest prediction anyway too, because the odds are astronomical. You have better odds of being struck by lightning while you're drafting an underdog draft on the toilet while drinking a Sprite with Ron Navy. I don't know. Ron, give me some other things to throw that while I put this on the board real quick. Give me the most unpredictable thing in the world, and that's what it is. That's the odds of you winning this thing, and so you're gonna win this entire thing. Not that you won't be able to buy anything you want. You won't need to win any of this stuff. You'll be a millionaire. Okay, so this is first of all, thank you, Matt, for dropping the super chat here. $50 hauler, Matt. Is this Matt Boyd? Matthew Boyd. Matthew Boyd. Matthew. $50 hauler on that he's gonna win underdog $3 million. Appreciate that, Matt. Matt, gonna make it rain for Matt real quick.
I hope he doesn't have Swift on his team.
Matt, appreciate you. Matt with the $20 hauler. Matt, draft Swift. Okay. I think that's all she wrote for tonight, unless somebody else has another $50 hauler that they want to throw on the board. But on the board behind me. Let's see, Matt. I'll put Matt's prediction. On the board behind me are the predictions for all the $50 haulers. Appreciate that. Nolo Contendere. Yeah, that's what it's called. Guilty plea without admission of guilt. I don't know that he's going to get... I mean, you never know. It's hard to imagine a Nolo Contendere plead, because I feel like, you know, what he did, this victim is going to be like, I'm not. And I don't know how much the DA is the one that offers it, but I could just see them not letting Kamara get away with no admission of guilt. I don't think it's going to happen. I got him in like the 8th round. Awesome job. Swift in the 8th is a smash, bro.
Is it?
Yeah.
Not if you don't get, not.
Smash. I got so many drafts right now. I got like 7 pending Poodle drafts, and I've got all these. Look at all these pending drafts. I got all these Moon Men drafts right now. All these pending Poodles. Yep. All right.
I got 4 pending Poodles.
Ron, appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you on the Zoom call, but I'll also drop a video tomorrow. Appreciate everybody being in here. Get ready for the Marsmen card announcement. You will be sorry if you want to be in something like this. It's going to be an exclusive little club, and everybody gets to watch the draft every single. Listen to the sound of it drop on my desk. Aluminum card. All right, hey Ron, appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Later.
All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. I'll leave you with the tripod.
The tripod, likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, consists of drafting either Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts with one of Hall, Gibbs or Bijan, and one of Olave, Watson, Wilson, or Chase.
Yeah, I don't know who Hunter is. Hunter is still on the clock. We all joined that draft immediately, and then Hunter just left. Hunter joined it and then left. And so we're all 11 of us are just sitting here ready to draft. And Hunter just jumped in and then went and had to go. 4 horsemen. I give you the 4. Oh, hold on. Yeah, the Four Horsemen. Here you go.
The Four Horsemen. Drafting Chase in round 1. Hall in 2. Burrow in 3. London in 4. Try Gibbs in 3. Burrow in 4. Wilson in 2. No problem. Combinations of these monsters will give your league mates nightmares, especially Bijan 1, Alavi 2, Burrow 3, and Gibbs 4. Don't lie. You just made an oopsie in your pants, didn't you? Ride for horses at the same time. The Four Horsemen.
See you all tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, I don't know. And then we have the Zoom call. Guys, if you want to be an exclusive YouTube member, you can click on this little beauty right here. On the at the top of the desktop version of the YouTube channel, there's a join button and then a membership tab. Either one of those will get you to the YouTube exclusive memberships. On mobile, there's a tab called memberships, just like on desktop, and that will get you to the YouTube exclusive memberships. But if anybody wants to become a YouTube exclusive member, you can drop a $1.99 a month, just a measly $1.99 a month, and go ahead and jump in and get all the emojis, get all that stuff, and then if you want the $9 a month Zoom call, the $9.99 Zoom call, try it out for 1 month, and you get 2 Zoom calls during the season every Sunday, and then during the off season we do 1 Zoom call on Sundays. So it'll be absolutely phenomenal. What is this clown college? Says Emerald. What clown college? You see you clowns later. See you clowns later. What's that about? What's this negativity about? Clown college. See you clowns later. Clown. Interesting, Emerald. Clown school. I guess we're at clown school. Doing it live. Appreciate you all. See you later. Later, Ron Navy. Later, Klondike. Later, Sick Nasty. Later, Terry Roberts in the house. Terry, I saw your Instagram post. That was funny. Travis in the building all night long. Appreciate you. Detest. Appreciate you being here as well. BK. BK, we did 4 drafts. Wish we could draft. We did 4 drafts. Oh, in this draft, the Hunter draft. We're gonna rename it the Hunter draft. Waiting to hopefully he comes back. Wait, Smitty, how can I get a scholarship for this clown college? I don't know. It's in the making. Clown school is in the works. Matthew, appreciate your super chat, by the way. Matthew to the moon. Matthew to the moon, pal. Travis says he needs this Moon Man card for his wallet. Well, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you, these puppies came in here. I've got them all right here. I'm gonna put on gloves so I don't put fingerprints on them. Put them in some sort of, I don't know. I'm gonna put like a separate case for all of these cards. I just got them back from the engraver. These are aluminum cards. Aluminum cards. It's like a real thick credit card. Aluminum cards. And, I got them right here. Just so excited about them. These are going to be hard to get, obviously. More to come.
A top 5 wide receiver hides among the people. His cost of entry is near illegal. Few see him coming. many stay away. His name is Chris Olave.
Peace out, everybody. Appreciate you. People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.